6. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Join 96.5 The Fan at the Peanut in the Northland on Friday, June 12th as C-Dot and Rob broadcast live starting at 2 with kickoff to follow at 8 o'clock. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you on this wonderful Tuesday. We have a lot to get into. We'll talk about the continued fallout with Brendan Sorsby, the quarterback at Texas Tech. Congratulations to the San Antonio Spurs. I thought they were dead in the water at halftime yesterday. The Knicks scored 42 points in the second quarter of that game. They were absolutely rocking. The Spurs are down 0-2. The Knicks are playing some of their best basketball of this series. It seemed like this thing was headed towards a sweep. And the San Antonio Spurs fight back. They win their first game in this series. The home team has lost every game so far. In Game 4, just got even more interesting. We'll talk about that from last night. We'll get to some OTAs here in just a bit. This is the last portion of off-season workouts for Kansas City before they get to training camp. So this part is mandatory. Everybody is there getting ready for the season. We'll get to that coming up in just a little bit. Again, my name is Carrington Harrison. Rob here taking you up until 5:30 when we hand things off to the Kansas City Royals as they are back at home. I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. And number three, and most importantly, I need you to go stop by for a Tenderloin Tuesday with our friends over at The Other Place. Stop in, grab yourself something to eat. Check out their incredible pork tenderloin special. That's one of the best deals in the city. Grab yourself a 25-ounce domestic mug. You can get that for $3. Catch a little bit of baseball today. Get ready for a little bit of soccer that starts coming up later in the week. If you're looking for a place to eat, a place to relax, sit out on the patio, enjoy a drink after a hard work day, then go stop by and see our friends over at The Other Place. As we start today's show, I want to hop in our Wayback Machine to a conversation that we had last week with Nate Taylor. I asked Nate Taylor, was the story of this offseason portion, so mini camp and OTAs, was the story about Mahomes being there, or was the story more about Rashee Rice not being in attendance because of his legal situation? Here's what Nate said.
It's really about Rashee Rice not being there because Patrick Mahomes is there. Like, I think there's something really fascinating about a guy doing, and I reported this yesterday about, Patrick doing everything he possibly can to get that, 3 days yesterday, I guess Tuesday through Thursday, to be with his teammates, to be back throwing a football, to be going through some form of normalcy in his calendar, even though we know he's coming back from, the most significant injury of his career. And then some people caught what I was doing. It was partly because, like, it's Twitter. There's a character count. But yeah, I have to write yesterday that, like, Rashee Rice, quote, or comma, who is in jail, and who's also, trying to come back from, a more minor procedure with the knee scope. But, like, I mean, he's still their number one receiver. And it's a massive thing that both Patrick and Xavier Worthy had procedures and have done everything to be available so that they can be on the field together. And Rashee Rice is, as we all know, still in jail.
So that was Nate Taylor when he joined us last week to answer the question, is it more important that Mahomes is there or is it more important that Rashee Rice is not there? We don't need to rehash the entire conversation. You guys know why Rashee Rice is not there. We don't have to cover that again. But I will say this. These next 3 days, this is the last thing that Rashee Rice is allowed to miss, in my opinion. The Chiefs have made their decision. In a lot of ways, I feel the NFL has made their decision. From the Instagram incident earlier in the year, the NFL has cleared Rashee Rice. I don't think we have any reason to, and I can play for you what Nate Taylor had to say. I don't think we have any reason to believe that the NFL is going to suspend or penalize Rashee Rice for this probation violation. I think they're going to let the legal system handle it. They're going to let the courts handle it. And when Rashee Rice is free and it is time to go to training camp, I don't really expect anything additional to happen. I've followed the Chiefs enough. You follow the Chiefs enough. You and I both know exactly what's going to happen with Rashee Rice. He's going to do his time. He actually gets out next week. He gets out on the 17th. So he is almost done. He will do one media availability where everybody will ask him about it, and the Chiefs will do their best to deflect some of the questions. You will never hear Rashee Rice talk again. It will never come up again. I've done this cycle enough with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not even saying that's a wrong cycle. I don't have any problems with that. The only reason I'm bringing it up is this needs to be the last time that we have conversations about Rashee Rice's personal life. Honestly, I don't really care what you do in your personal life. You're a 20-something-year-old, well-to-do, financially stable human being. I understand you're out having fun. I understand you're driving cars that I can't afford. I understand you're talking to women that wouldn't talk to me. I don't care about any of that. I really don't care. All I care is that you do your job and show up on time, show up ready to work, show up ready to ball, and play at an absolute high level. I feel now I am in the minority when we are talking about Rashee Rice. Now, we all have the same trust issues and character concerns about Rashee Rice. We are all on the same page, but I do hold out hope. There is a popcorn kernel of belief that maybe this is the wake-up call that he needs. Maybe this is the scared straight moment. I don't want to make it sound like my man's in Sing Sing. I don't want to make it sound like he's in San Quentin, Pelican Bay, 23-hour lockdown days, but he is in jail. Jail just doesn't really seem like it's a lot of fun. It sounds even less fun when I'm used to living an NFL lifestyle. When I got an Instagram baddie and I'm sitting here in the chow line, it just doesn't sound like a really, really fun time. So maybe, just maybe, this is what Rashee Rice needs. Maybe this is his scared straight moment. And my hope, my prayer is that we never have these conversations again. I never, ever want to talk about Rashee Rice getting in trouble. He doesn't need to be on TMZ anymore. He doesn't need to be on the front page of ESPN for off the field stuff. I hope and pray that once we get past this week and Rashee Rice not being there and we get to St. Joe and we have our one press conference in the media where he gets peppered with questions, I hope that's the end of it. Because for the last 18 months, it has always been a new conversation. It has always been a new something. And this team's success is very dependent on Rashee Rice being able to figure it out. Later in the show, I'm going to tell you guys the list of players that the Chiefs are counting on their progression. The Chiefs are counting on these guys getting better. The Chiefs are counting on these guys to step up and fill some very important roles. Rashee Rice is probably at the top of that list of players that they are counting on who are still on their rookie contract that they need to get the most out of. If this team is going to bounce back, compete for the division, compete for a playoff spot, get back to being one of the titans of the AFC, they need Rashee Rice to stay out of trouble. Another thing I want to talk about here in the open is this. You know, I'm a little sad. I'm a little down. I'm a little disappointed. You know, yesterday, we did not mention the Royals at all. Not once. I mean, I don't really know what you would talk about with the Kansas City Royals. Did you know that not one single person yesterday on the text line mentioned the Royals? Not one single person on the text line brought the Royals up. Not one single person said you should be talking about the Royals. If we went a whole day without talking about the Chiefs, someone would weigh in with a football topic or a football question. But the fact that the Royals have played themselves into anonymity again should be disappointing to everybody. I think you could argue that over the last 30 days, the Royals have been the third most popular baseball team in town. You know how wild that is? Kansas baseball was being celebrated for the last couple of weeks, and they should. They had arguably the best year in school history, certainly one of the best. The Savannah Bananas were in town. I think in the month of May, they might have won more games at Kauffman than the Royals did. And then the Royals are third. This is not how this season was supposed to go. The Royals were not supposed to be on the back burner. The Royals were supposed to be a team that unified the city. And as we're heading into the World Cup, we're supposed to be talking about how the World Cup is affecting them and how they're playing so many games on the Royals on the road. It feels like starting Thursday, at least for a lot of people, the Royals are going to be out of sight and out of mind. I expect, based on Kansas City's history, I expect Kansas City to perform very well when it comes to the World Cup. Not just for the United States games. I expect them to finish very high in the country when it comes to it, like top 10. I think that a lot of Kansas Cityans are kind of like me. Hey, maybe soccer isn't my favorite thing. I know a lot of you that it is, but you know what? I'm excited that our city is a part of it, and I'm going to follow the World Cup in a way that I've never really followed it before. Hell, I know when Mexico plays. I know when Canada plays. I'm following this World Cup. I'm keeping up with this World Cup. I'm invested in this World Cup. It stinks to me that I don't feel that level of excitement about the Royals, and I don't think that you guys feel that level of excitement about the Royals. I'm sure at one point it will pick back up. But the only way I see the interest picking back up on the Kansas City Royals is when we start talking about who they're going to trade. When we start talking about what can they get, what pieces can they move at the deadline, how can they position themselves for the future, or the conversation that Bobby Witt Jr. could win American League MVP. Now, I'm not saying this as an indictment on Bobby Witt's ability. He's one of the best players in baseball. You have to have a monster year to win American League MVP on a team like the Royals. I mean, you got to have a Alex Rodriguez back when he was with the Texas Rangers. It needs to be so undeniable that you were the best player in the American League in order for you to win it. You cannot be the best player on a 71-win baseball team, hit 23 home runs with 101 RBIs, and think that you were winning American League MVP. Maybe people care about this. Maybe they don't. I would say step one for Bobby is get him to be an all-star starter. That seems like a very, very incredible honor for one of the best players in the game. And how high can he finish in the MVP voting? Because I think winning the award is just going to be very difficult given the lack of team success that the Royals are going to have this year. You guys know the rules. It does not matter the when, what, where, or why. If we talk about the Royals in the 2 o'clock hour, it can only mean one thing. Rob, hit me!
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals.
Carrington, today's Random Royals lineup takes us to another dark time in Royals history because it's a dark time now. Let's head back to 2004. We'll jump in the way back machine. Here was the Royals lineup on this date in 2004 where they lost at home 8-0 to the Montreal Expos.
Oh my goodness, what a time. The Expos?
Leading off at second base, Tony Graffanino.
That's what I'm talking about.
Batting second, the center fielder, Carlos Beltran. Batting third, the first baseman, Mike Sweeney. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Ken Harvey.
Royals legend.
By the way, Ken Harvey was hitting .367 on this date in 2004.
Yeah. Ted Williams.
Batting fifth, the right fielder, Matt Stairs.
Who do you think was better, Ken Harvey or Ken Griffey Jr.?
And it's really a toss-up.
I don't even think it's that close between Ken Harvey. I think it's hands down him.
It's really sad it wasn't Ken Harvey baseball 2002.
For sure. Backwards cap, the kid.
His right-hand swing may have been the best we've ever seen in
the
baseball.
Cutoff, that's what they should have called Ken Harvey. The cutoff.
Batting sixth, the third baseman, Joe Randa.
The Joker.
Batting
what was
seventh,
the Joker hitting? What was he doing?
.253.
All right, he was okay.
Batting seventh, the catcher, Benito Santiago. Batting eighth, the shortstop, the rookie of the year, Angel Baroa.
Legend. Royals legend.
And batting ninth, the left fielder, Byron Geddes.
How many wins did that team have?
They had 21 at this point in the season.
All right.
And they finished 58 and 104.
Oh, my goodness. That team was P.U. stinky. That team was. They're terrible.
By the way, Zach Day started that day for the Expos, and he went a complete game shutout.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Mowed Royals down.
Zach Day had a great day when he saw the Royals
He threw
line up.
84 pitches. Woof.
A complete game, 84 pitch day. Yeah, he mowed through the Kansas City Royals and Byron Geddes. Byron Geddes seems like he played cornerback for Missouri in the mid-2000s. I've heard that name before. Coming up on the other side, you know what? Let's talk a little bit of World Cup soccer. Rob's excited. I'm excited. You're excited. We'll do it next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Your off-season home for everything Chiefs football.
Talking about the top story, the Chiefs, they have a new offensive coordinator.
96.5, The Fan.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. The future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation, and neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. Because the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
Some days, self-care starts with Nature-Made gummy vitamins, a deep breath, and a little encouragement.
Mom, I'm really nervous.
Me too, honey, but we've got this. Repeat after me. I'm gonna have a good day.
I'm going to have a good day.
I choose joy no matter what comes my way.
I bring joy wherever I go.
Quality gummy vitamins from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement. Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
The biggest stage in world soccer is days away, and every goal changes everything. And now, FanDuel's giving you a reason to root for every single one. Introducing Every Goal Pays. Bet on a match and get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. That's right. More goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now and get it on Every Goal Pays. That's FanDuel.com/local. Maybe you want to bet on one of the early matches in the entire tournament. Germany and Curacao. Probably a lot of goals going to be scored in that one, at least on the German side. Or one of the first matches in Kansas City with Argentina and Algeria. You can do that over at FanDuel. Let there be goals over on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbooks, the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Opt-in required. Must apply bonus token. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
Tonight, expect mostly clear skies with a low of 75.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
What's up, y'all? It's Draymond. On my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, I'm calling it exactly how I see it with my real opinions on the league, the games, and the business of basketball. And with the NBA Finals here, you already know I'm breaking down every game, every adjustment, and every big moment as it happens. When Victor Wembanyama's in the paint, the Knicks, they gotta be feeling it. If you love basketball, this is where the conversation happens. Listen to and follow the Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcast.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Now, let me tell you, I consider myself to be a soccer expert. I would say Nate Bukaty is number one. I'll give that to him. Works for Apple TV, covered soccer for a long time. You know, soccer is part of the brand. Salute to Nate Bukaty. Outside of him, I don't know if there's too many people in the city that know more about soccer than me. You know, I'm very, very well cultured, very well versed in the football. So today, as I was getting ready for the show on ESPN, for the first time in my life, I clicked on the Men's World Cup tab. I'm used to clicking on the NFL, the NBA, the baseball, the college football. Rob, they got a Men's World Cup tab. I don't think I've ever clicked on that before. I clicked on over there. And right there in front of me, it said, these are the 50 best players in the tournament. Now, Rob, let me tell you, I was certain I knew who number one was. And you might think, oh, Lionel Messi. No, I know he's old. I didn't think he was going to be number one. I was convinced. Kylian Mbappe, he's one of the few soccer players I know. He's on France. He's good. I was thinking there's no way that he's not number one. Rob, to show you how little I know about what's going on, he's not even in the top 10 on this list. They got him at number 14. You're telling me that there's 13 better soccer players in the world than that man. Because I did not know that until just now. They showed number one on the list. Rob, I'm going to tell you who it was. I never heard of that man before. Not once. This was a new observation to me.
Can I guess who number one was?
Yeah,
was it Lamine Yamal?
Who?
Lamine Yamal?
No.
Okay.
He was not. He was number two.
Okay. So I was in the ballpark?
Yeah. I had absolutely no clue. I learned so much by clicking on this list. Now, I heard of some of these people. I have heard of some of these people. I had not heard of all of these people. So number 10, I'm going to try to pronounce these. I got to get ready.
This will be the fun.
I got to get ready. Martin Odegaard.
Odegaard, yeah.
Yeah, oh, see?
There you go.
I knew it. They have him at number 10. Bukayo Saka.
Nope, Saka.
Okay, all right. I'm trying here.
Saka.
All right, right now I'm shooting 50% from the field. Number 8, Rafinha.
Rafinha?
Yeah, him, Rafinha. He's number 8. William Saliba. Oh, I got to get one of these. All right, he's number 7. Number 6, Pedri. Oh, my goodness. Number 5, Bruno Fernandes. I know I pronounced that right.
Yep, you got that one.
Okay, now I know I can get this one. Harry Kane.
Yep,
I got that one. Harry Kane.
He'll be local pretty soon.
Michael Olise.
Yep, Michael Olise.
Michael Olise. Now, I only know this Lamine Yamal individual because one day we were getting ready for the show, and you guys remember that scene in Remember the Titans where Hayden Panettiere's character is just talking the other girl's ear off, Denzel's daughter, And then Denzel looks and says, I do not care. But this day, I was like, you know what, Rob? You're really excited. Let me pay attention. Let me put an interest in what really interests you. Rob showed me 30 minutes of soccer highlights. You got to see this guy. I was like, all right. I was like, hold on, you're right. He is kind of good. He's pretty good. He was running around, kicking the ball. Like, oh, okay, cool. I kind of like him. He's number 2. Osame Dembele.
Dembele's number 1. Okay.
He's the number 1.
That makes sense.
Hey, they got all these good players on France. What France got going on? What is France doing that we not doing in soccer?
Cheating.
They got all these people.
Technically, anyone who grows up in a country that was at one point a French colony can claim dual citizenship. So that's how.
So all these people might not really be from France.
They might not really be from France.
What about Mbappe? Is he from France?
I believe Mbappe.
I know he plays for France. Is he actually from France?
I do not remember which the lineage of each player.
So you're telling me France got some ringers? Is what you're telling me?
Basically, they have a player.
Do we have ringers?
Yes.
Because I'm trying to wonder why we don't have ringers on the United States team. Then we need to be doing what these other countries are doing. Then we're getting smoked by Paraguay. They got 8 people in their country.
We have 4 or 5 players that weren't born in the United States that get dual citizenship.
Okay. All right. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear that we're doing everything we can to win.
Mm-hmm. It's 2 Englishmen and there's definitely a Dutchman that's technically now American.
Okay. That's what I like to hear. That's the most encouraging thing you could have told me. Honestly, the most American thing you can do is get a ringer.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we're not good enough, so let's go hit this transfer portal and let's try to get some other guys that can potentially join this roster and can potentially help. Rob, who's the favorite coming into the World Cup?
Spain. I was actually checking FanDuel for this today. Right now, Spain is your betting favorite. Now, they got an advantageous draw. If you look at their group, it's soft. They won't struggle at all in their group. They're the group that includes Verdi? I don't know. They're going to smoke that team. They're going to handle their groups, and they just won Euro 2024. So
they got dogs.
They got dogs. And they have the second best player in the world in Lamine Yamal.
Okay.
And Pedri, however you prefer to say it, he's also on that team.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. So right now I'm looking at the World Cup power rankings right now. They have Spain at number 1. They have France at 2. Argentina at 3. Are you feeling good about Argentina's chances to go back-to-back? I know Lionel Messi's getting up there a little bit. I know he's old. Do you think they can go back-to-back? It hasn't happened in a long time.
No. What happens a lot of times in the World Cup is a team wins, and then 4 years later, they do the run it back. But unlike in football, basketball, pro sports, where it's year in, year out, 4 years passes. So when you run it back, your team's just old. Your team's just not the same thing it was. And their goalkeeper is battling injury. Lionel Messi is battling injury. They're running the same roster back that was not known for youth and vigor in 2022. So
now they're trying to run it back for 2026.
I think I don't know Argentina's out like in the group stage, but I don't think Argentina is a championship quality level club right now.
Okay, all right. I was just curious. One of my really good friends, he's a big soccer fan as well. He lives in San Francisco, so he's planning on going to a game out there on the West Coast, and he says that he's very interested to see how England's going to handle the weather because the temperature and the climate is so much different in our summer than it is over there. He thinks that could be a detriment to the Englishmen.
I was actually watching Chris Falica, the Bear. He was putting together a betting profile for Fox Sports.
Should have came to me. I would have helped you.
He said that he is fading England because their air miles during the Cup are going to be the highest of any team making a run. So they flew from England to Tampa to play a friendly, to Kansas City. They have matches in Dallas, Mexico, and in Seattle. And if they win...
3 very different climates.
And if they win, they then play their knockout round match in Los Angeles. So just the amount of air travel plus three massively different climates, really.
Yeah, for sure. No, I was very, very curious. I am not the only one excited about the World Cup. Here is somebody in Lawrence, Kansas. He is very, very excited. Algeria, I believe Algeria is staying out in Lawrence, Kansas, right? They're taking over the city. They're going to be there for the next month. One Lawrence man, very excited that Algeria is in town.
I want to say thank you to Team Algeria for choosing our hometown, Lawrence, Kansas, to come here. And so welcome. Welcome to United States. Welcome to Kansas.
Okay. What do you know about Algeria, and what do you think make you to come to support Algeria?
So I came mainly because I was so happy that they chose our town for their base camp. And we just know Algeria is on the Mediterranean Sea, and then the south part is in the Sahara Desert. But and we know that you gained independence from France kind of around the time I was born. So we don't know too much, but we want to welcome you here.
What about you?
Well,
what do you want to say about Algeria and what do you have about idea about Algeria?
Well, yeah, the only idea I have is so far everybody here has been very friendly and very welcoming, and I'm really glad Algeria is going to be here. And 1, 2, 3, vive l'Algérie!
You know what, man? I'm excited. I'm happy for the World Cup, man. The World Cup gets going here in a couple of days. Which of the early matchups, Rob, are you most excited about, not counting the United States who play on Friday night?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because I know Canada and Mexico, they both play in the next couple of days as well.
Yeah,
the host countries, they get to play early.
I'm going to say the host nations all play early. I believe I was Saturday's slate. No, it's Sunday's slate that actually very much intrigues me because you're going to open the day at noon with Germany versus Curacao. Go get something done. Get
Germany
some yard
might
work.
smoke those boys.
Go get yard work done.
Yeah,
Just go take your time.
It's definitely a possibility.
Netherlands, Japan is a good one at 3. Ivory Coast, Ecuador is a good one at 6. And then that night, the late one is Sweden, Tunisia. That's another good one to finish the day. So Saturday is when you'll see 3 really good matches if you're just starting to lock into Fox.
There's a lot going on this weekend. We got the start of the World Cup. The NBA Finals are still going on. The Stanley Cup Finals are still going on. And we got the UFC event at the White House coming up on Sunday as well. You can watch that on Paramount Plus. Coming up. So obviously a lot of sports things happening. Let's get to the Knicks game from last night. We don't got to talk about the basketball just yet. We'll get there here in a little bit. Rob, I got to ask you a question. What would you do in this scenario? Because I was reading a story, and the story was talking about how conflicted some Knicks fans feel. We all have seen the ticket prices. These ticket prices are going for an astronomical amount of money. And there are some people that are thinking about what they could potentially do with all of that money versus the enjoyment of going to the game. One gentleman was talking about, if I sold my 2 season tickets, this would be equal to me paying for 1 year of my daughter's college and the dilemma of having to do that. There are other people that were talking about I could pay off my house. It could set me up. It could make me debt free. A lot of different things if you just made the decision to not go to a Knicks game. I'm curious, Rob, how you would handle this. I think the solution's very, very simple. I would have sold my tickets yesterday if I was a Knicks fan. This is why. You couldn't have won the NBA championship yesterday. You could have potentially won the NBA championship in Game 4, right? You win Game 3. Now you're back in Game 4. You're up 3-0. You got a chance to clinch the championship. But Game 3, you either go up 3-0 or you go up 2-1, and then obviously Game 4 is going to be very, very important. You don't want to go back to 2-2, now heading back to San Antonio, and all the momentum that you stole away from San Antonio, you now give it back to them, and they're going back to their building. Or you go up 3-1, and that could potentially be the last Knicks home game of the season. Maybe this series doesn't come back to MSG. If I was one of these Knicks fans, as difficult as it would have been, if you're in a financial situation where you needed the coin and you needed the bread, because there's some people that just, hey, the money's not a big deal. I'm here for the experience. I want to go to the Knicks game. If you were in that situation, I think you would have had to sell the tickets last night for Game 3. You cannot win the championship in Game 3. You can win the championship in Game 4. That's the better game to me as a fan to be at. And all the same celebrities that were just there for Game 3, they're coming back. Game 4 is still the NBA Finals. It's still Knicks and Spurs and what has been a phenomenal. This has been a very, very good series. So you're going to get to see all the same celebrities. They're all coming back for Game 4. Yeah, I would have sold Game 3.
So, now, I don't have Knicks money, period. Looking at these ticket prices, it's just banana land. But I think I would have actually done the opposite of you. I would keep Game 4 if I was a season ticket holder and had both, and I would sell Game 3 because that was the higher price, and I knew I had Game 4 in my back pocket.
For sure.
Because I'm trying to think when the World Series came to Kansas City, which is the closest comparison because it's a series, you get multiple games. I remember when the World Series came, and it was Giants-Royals 2014. Magic carpet ride, the whole deal. I remember thinking to myself, I have tickets for Game 1 and Game 2. But since I know I have Game 2 tickets in my pocket, I was way more willing to sell Game 1, more willing to sell Game 2, because for Game 1, it'd be the first time a World Series has been in Kansas City since 1985, this, that, and the other. I think the experience of being at MSG and saying I was at the Garden when they were in the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999 has value as a fan, And then you sell off game 4, you make some money, and you pay your college tuition for your kid, or you could pay your mortgage if you want for a year. But I think you keep the first game to say you were there and sell off the second one at a lower price, but still an inordinate price.
Yeah, I'm going to guess. Now, I understand the ticket prices at Arrowhead. I don't think the ticket prices at Arrowhead got anywhere close to what we've seen at MSG. I mean, we're talking about Super Bowl level prices of what we're seeing to get into these Knicks games. But I imagine there were a lot of Chiefs fans who over the years have found themselves in a very, very similar situation, especially for that first playoff game. I'm not talking about the one against Miami where it was so cold outside. People were just giving tickets away to that one. Like, hey, you want to stand outside in the cold? Here, we got tickets for you. But they've had some games against a Jacksonville, against a Cleveland in the postseason, against a Houston or Indianapolis, that first game that they're in the postseason, that I could see you thinking, you know what? I can make $400 or $500 a piece on these tickets. I'll sell them on the Ticketmaster. I'll sell them on StubHub, and then I'll go to the AFC Championship game. Because honestly, for a lot of people, the AFC Championship game is the biggest football game that you can afford to get tickets to. If you can't afford to go to the Super Bowl, the game that gets your team to the Super Bowl, it's a lot different environment than the Super Bowl. We're talking about it's in your stadium, it's a comfortable drive, it's all fans of the team. It's just a very, very different environment to be at. That's the most important football game that a lot of people can go to. So I could understand you selling the tickets for that divisional round, and I'm not going to the game against Cleveland because I feel pretty confident Kansas City's going to win. Let me cash out and get my money. And then next week when it's Chiefs-Bills, AFC Championship, Chiefs-Bengals, AFC Championship, Chiefs-Patriots, I'm going to make sure that I'm in the building for that one.
I get what you're saying. I just think the NFL is a bad comparison here because the next game is always the biggest one. In the NBA, you don't know if game 4 is going to be bigger than game 3. Like, if you had decided to sell game 3 and keep game 4, there was a chance you were going to see the final game of the series potentially. You just don't know how it's going to shake out. I've told you this before with the Royals. In 2015, when they won the World Series, I had game 6 tickets. There was no game 6. Like, there's no guarantee. So I don't think it's a great comparison, football to basketball, because in football, the next one's always bigger. Yeah, I'll sell my Jags divisional round tickets because the Bengals in the championship game is the bigger deal. But I think I would have held on to game 3 and sold game 4 just because the atmosphere. Mike Breen said on the broadcast, and he does play-by-play for the Knicks. He's never seen an MSG experience like that before. I think if you are a true Knicks fan, you had tickets in hand, you have to take the shot at seeing it for the first time.
Last night felt like a spectacle. We'll talk about the game, and we'll talk about what happened outside the arena and how I feel the sentiment towards Knicks fans radically turned on its head in the last 24 hours. Where this was a fan base I think America was starting to embrace. America wanted them to have their watch parties, wanted to see them have their fun. And I don't want to let the actions of a few really taint the feelings of all of it, because we saw a lot of watch parties around the city. They were showing them on the broadcast. It looked like a lot of people were celebrating their team, and obviously that's what you want. It got nasty outside MSG last night. It got nasty in the streets of New York, and we'll get to that. But it was a real spectacle yesterday. We knew it was going to be a who's who of who was in attendance. It ended up being that. And I would also say it's very rare you see in sports where a game, certainly of that magnitude, I said yesterday, I thought it was the most anticipated basketball since Game 7 between the Cavs and Warriors and the block on Andre Iguodala. I just think the hype, the buzz, the anticipation, all of it, the game lived up to it. The celebrity lived up to it. The crowd, the hype. It's very rare that you get all of those things to come together the way that I think it did for Game 3. I think this has been a phenomenal series. I think these have been two very evenly matched teams. I mean, the Spurs could argue they could be up 3-0. The Knicks could argue they could be up 3-0. Either side could argue they could be up 2-1. I know the Knicks have the advantage, but it has been a very, very even series for the most part between two very, very talented, very deep basketball teams.
I don't think this is the best metric in the world, so don't take this with a grain of salt. But in the newsroom, Scott Parks does not like the NBA. We joke with him in the newsroom about how little he likes the NBA. He walked into work today, and he sat down, and he goes, you know what I did last night for the first time in over a decade? I sat down and watched an NBA game. I think whether it's the New York element, whether it's Wemby, whether it's the fact the Royals are basically non-existent, whether we're kind of in a sports desert right now before the World Cup, I don't know what the reason is. I don't know. It could be a little bit of all of those things. This NBA Finals is resonating with fans more so than years past, and it is getting a casual to watch. And the casuals that are now watching are seeing really good basketball if they sit down and watch the games. I do think this has been a great series. I'm hoping the Spurs steal Game 4 just so we get more basketball, selfishly, as a sports fan.
Text line 913-586-7965, talking a little bit of Game 3 and the crazy ticket prices that they're going for. Coming up on the other side, I would say one of the top stories in the NFL right now is Aaron Donald going to return? Adam Schefter gave us a little bit of information. We'll tell you what it was. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2 up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Let's say you put your money on Leo Messi in Argentina. They go up too early in the first half. Well, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you will instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. You like Ronaldo in Portugal. You like Harry Kane in England. Whoever it may be, don't miss your shot at an early win with 2 up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. Regardless of the final outcome of the match, make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. Please gamble responsibly.
If the high cost of filling up is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee. This Saturday and Sunday, get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 30 cents per gallon with your $60 purchase. 60 cents per gallon with a $120 purchase. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to billshappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
Billshappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
This afternoon, expect a high of 91 with slight showers, transitioning to mostly sunny later.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Ever since Myles Garrett was traded to the Rams, we quickly moved on from Myles Garrett being on the team, and the question started, hey, is Aaron Donald going to come back? Here's the latest from Adam Schefter of ESPN.
Nobody is coming out right now and saying Aaron Donald is coming back. But everybody is acknowledging that it is a possibility. And the fact that it is even a possibility in June tells me that I think there's every possibility it will become more real in July. And I think if and when they present a plan to him as to how he would be used, I think it's more likely than not that he'll be back. Now, nobody said that. Nobody said that. Everybody thinks, we'll see, it's possible, we're talking about it, he has to commit to it. It still sounds like we're a ways away. He has not gotten there yet. But the fact that this is even coming up, and the fact that the Rams have the team that they do, and the fact that Aaron Donald will get to play with Myles Garrett, and the fact that the Super Bowl's in LA this year, I just think the ingredients are there to make it happen.
That is Adam Schefter of ESPN talking about the possibility that Aaron Donald could return and play for the Los Angeles Rams. I do think it's a pretty interesting question. Now, I don't have any doubt that Aaron Donald has kept himself in remarkable shape. He also doesn't need to make that decision today, probably needs to make that decision at some point in the next 60 days if he's going to come back or not. It sounds like the door is open. The question on whether or not is Aaron Donald going to come back. Rob, I think he's going to play. If you're asking me right now, I had to place a wager. Do I think that Aaron Donald will play football this season for the Los Angeles Rams? I think the answer is yes. I don't think this comes up if he's not interested. If he wasn't interested, I feel like he would have put the kibosh on this very early on in the process, so we wouldn't even be having these conversations. I think on that team, given the Super Bowl hype, given the fact that the Super Bowl is in Los Angeles, given the opportunity to play alongside of guys like Myles Garrett, the organization understanding him and where he's at and kind of using him situationally and letting him kind of ease back into it, I think there's a lot of things kind of pushing in the direction that maybe after a couple of years off, you feel fresh, that I think Aaron Donald's going to play this season. I would bet, yeah.
I actually think you're right. Now, I don't think he's going to be the Aaron Donald of old. I think he's going to be situational pass rush Aaron Donald. But even situational pass rush Aaron Donald with Myles Garrett and that secondary is a problem for most offensive lines. But let me ask you a question. We haven't really talked about this yet. Let's say Aaron Donald returns, and you think it happens, I think it happens. Do people start talking about the Rams as a super team? Because we haven't heard that conversation yet, but the Rams are as star-studded as I have seen an NFL team in a long time. If Aaron Donald tomorrow, breaking news sounder, hits and he comes back, do people start calling them a super team? Because they would have Hall of Famers everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. They will definitely start to have that conversation. There was a story that popped up over the weekend that they made a serious play to try to go get A.J. Brown. They had some questions about A.J. Brown's knee. They also couldn't find a team that was willing to take Devontae Adams at the price in which they wanted. But it sounds like the Rams really sniffed around to potentially go get A.J. Brown. You know they don't care about first-round picks. Now, ultimately, they ended up trading that first-round pick because they ended up getting Myles Garrett. But that's neither here nor there. But, yeah, I just – it would not surprise me if that's how this story ends up happening. I just feel like if you're Aaron Donald and you had no interest in playing football from the very, very beginning, when Pat McAfee sends that text out there, you instantly put it out there. No, I'm good. I love retirement. I'm very, very happy. My body is fresh. I want to retire. This feels to me a lot like the Gronk situation, where Gronk came back just to play with Tom Brady. He was not coming back to play with any other team in the National Football League. There was no offer that you were going to make that was going to entice Gronk to come back. But Brady is making this move. Brady, I'm sure, put the phone call in and said, big guy, I need you. I need somebody that knows me, somebody that knows this system. Let's go win a championship. And Gronk agreed as long as Brady was there. I think this is going to be something similar with Aaron Donald.
I think this is going to be bigger because of the scale of LA and all the other things. I also think that happened during COVID, which just diminished things. I think the Rams are going to be the biggest villain in pro football this year, and I don't think it's going to be really close. I think any fan base who is not a Rams fan, if Aaron Donald returns, is going to hate the Rams, and they're going to cheer against the Rams every game. I don't know that there's going to be a general NFL fan in town who, when the Rams are playing the Niners, gonna be like, yeah, I'm cheering for the Rams today. You're telling me a team with Matt Stafford and Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson, Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, that whole group is going to be a likable bunch. I think you're about to see a villain like you've never seen in the NFL. Like, if Chiefs fans felt like the national media treated them like a villain, I think you're about to see a whole nother level of villain behavior in the NFL.
Coming up at the top of the hour, ESPN asked an NFL question for every team in the league. I'll tell you what their question was for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's talk a little bit of baseball here while we have the time. JJ Picollo was on the midday show earlier today, and he was asked about trade calls they are receiving. Here's what he said.
Well, it's, we've got to look at the date right now. What are we, June 9th, June 10th? We still have a long way to go before we'd make any decision like that. And I think everything right now is very speculative. We haven't made any calls about players available, received calls asking about players. I think it's just because so many teams are like us. You have a team that you believe in that isn't playing right now or playing well right now or excelling. And so many teams are like that I think it's just going to be a really, really late decision on what a team should do. And I don't think we're any different than a bunch of teams in the American League.
I don't think that's the mindset that the Royals need to have. I understand they're not making a trade in the early part of June. Like, I get that. I don't think they're selling the farm. The Royals cannot look at their roster and think that they are close. They cannot think that they are in it. They're the second worst team in the American League. Their season's over. They're cooked. They're 9 games out in a bad division. The Royals cannot fool themselves at the deadline. Now, I'm not saying I'm willing to trade Vinny Pasquantino or we're making those kind of trades, but yeah, you got to be willing to wheel and deal. And I would say, now, he is right about the grand scope of baseball, that now there are so many teams that think they are in it. So a team like the Athletics, for example, the A's are under 500, but they're a game and a half out of the wild card. So, yeah, I don't think the A's are going to be sellers. I think they're going to try to go for it. They're going to try to make the postseason. But if you're the Royals and you're 5.5 games out of wild card, you're 9 games out of the division, and you got the second to worst record in the American League, I'm sorry. Teams are going to be picking off some of your talent, some of your bullpen guys, maybe a bat, and trying to see what they can do. You got to try to play this thing the right way. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of sellers in the American League for the most part, but the Royals should absolutely be one of those organizations. They cannot kid themselves about where they are and what is best for the long-term future of their team. They are not in it. They need to make moves that can potentially get them back in it in 2027. Coming up on the other side, on ESPN, they asked one question for every team in the NFL. I'll tell you what the Chiefs' question was next. Keep it right here, so Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch. Brought to you by Century Roofing. Proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Hey DQ fans, nothing could make Father's Day more memorable than a DQ cake. Treat Dad, aka Pops, Poppy, or Papa, to one of our delicious fudge and crunch cakes. Or get a cake in one of our other Blizzard treat flavors like Oreo cookie. Customize your DQ cake with a message that celebrates the big guy and all the wonderful things he does. Trust us, it's a lot more fun than a pair of socks or another wacky tie. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
Right, soccer fans, listen up. If you'd like a proper celebration, come on, you know where to go this summer. Gordon Ramsay Steak inside Harrah's Kansas City is the place to be. Now, we're talking beautiful marble cuts, cooked to absolute utter perfection, and flavors you can't get anywhere else. Stop settling for mediocre and let me help you. Come in, sit down, and let my team show you how to cook a proper steak. Now, 21 or older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Father's Day is just around the corner, and we all know one universal truth. Dads love Smokehouse Barbecue. Whether you're hosting a massive family reunion or a tight-knit backyard bash, Smokehouse specializes in feeding everyone. And hey, if Dad insists on smoking the main course this year, don't sweat it. Get all your sides at Smokehouse. Hickory pit beans, cheesy corn, mac and cheese, all of that. Visit them today at one of their 3 locations, Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa, or at smokehousebbq.com.
The biggest stage in world soccer is days away, and every goal changes everything. And now, FanDuel is giving you a reason to root for every single one. Introducing Every Goal Pays. Bet on a match, and you get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. That's right. More goals mean more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now and get in on Every Goal Pays. That's FanDuel.com/local. We are days away from the action getting going, so you want to get in with FanDuel. I know you're excited with the largest sporting event in the world coming to Kansas City, and we have 6 matches over the next few weeks. And what better way to celebrate soccer, celebrate Kansas City than with our friends over at FanDuel? And remember that every goal matters. So let there be goal. And remember, FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Opt-in required. Must apply bonus token. Bonus issue. A nominal driver bonus back. Expires. 7 days of street restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gomer's voted Casey's #1 liquor store. Family owned and operated since 1969. With excellent price, selection, and service, Gomer's has helped customers find the perfect libation for any occasion for over 50 years.
When it's time to find the good stuff you're looking for, you find it at Gomer's.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay.
Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
This Royals coverage is brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. Looking for the perfect Father's Day gift? Right now at Peter's Clothiers, save 30% on select Johnny O styles. Premium comfort, timeless style, and savings Dad will love. Stop by Peter's Clothiers today at 124th and State Line Road.
Join us at 96.5 The Fan's World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut in the Northland on June 12th with The Drive starting at 2 and kickoff at 8. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933. The 5th annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale is back Wednesday, June 10th, with all auction items benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Really happy to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. So I was searching around on ESPN, and there was a story. And in the story, they were asking the most important question for every team in the National Football League. Now, you guys can probably guess what it was for the Kansas City Chiefs. Rob, this is what it was. Will Patrick Mahomes play, and how long until he looks like himself? I think one of the top storylines in the offseason is Patrick Mahomes going to be available for week 1? Now, I would say the NFL schedule makers, they seem pretty reliant on Patrick Mahomes playing week 1. They play the first Monday night football game of the year. They play the second Sunday night football game of the year. The fact that they are front-loaded with those kinds of games tells me that the NFL feels a measure of confidence that Mahomes is going to be there. But until we get the official word, it is definitely one of the questions. Patrick Mahomes spoke last week at Chiefs OTAs, and he talked about his goal, and it's to be ready for the first game of the season.
Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be the goal. Like, I don't want to miss games. I mean, as a competitor, as a football player, I want to be there. I know, like I said, I know it's still a long ways away. You know, I can't predict the future. And so all I can do is be great today and then continue to be great tomorrow. But I've gotten to where I've gotten to because of that mindset. And the goal at the end, the very far end, is to be ready and to be able to go out there and play with the guys week 1 at Arrowhead. But I gotta take it day by day.
I also want to play this for you from Patrick Mahomes. He talks about that once he gets back on the field, he's got to play like himself.
I know that whenever I get out there on the field and I feel like I can be Patrick Mahomes, I'll be Patrick Mahomes. Like there's no like I've never not felt like I'm 100%. Even when I have a sprained ankle, I feel like I'm 100% of what I can be. And so I'm gonna have that mindset when I go on the field. And when I get on the field, I'm gonna be myself. I'm not gonna hold back. I'm gonna lay it all on the line for my guys and my teammates.
Rob, this is where I am. I think the 3 big questions heading into the year, and we can even extrapolate it out to 4 if you really want to. I think the 4 biggest questions for the Chiefs as we are wrapping up their offseason portion, they only got a couple days left, and then it will be, hopefully, let me lock on wood, 6 or 7 weeks of no Chiefs news. There really isn't a player that I think they're negotiating with to try to get a new deal. Like, I don't really even know what the deal could potentially be for Kansas City that's on their roster. Now, could they go pick up Cam Jordan? Could they go make one of those kind of signings? Sure. But, I mean, usually in that dead period between June or July, usually it's we're waiting on Trey Smith to sign. We're waiting on Creed Humphrey to sign. They're not really waiting on that deal now. So question number 1, I think we all agree it's Patrick Mahomes, his health. When is he going to be available? What is he going to look like when he is available? That's question number 1, I would say, with the team. I would say moving down the line when it comes to this team, a significant question to me with the offense is, do they have enough at wide receiver? I think the Chiefs have made it a point to kind of progress every single room on their team. The room that they didn't really spend a whole lot of time on was the wide receiver room. They are very reliant on guys bouncing back, getting healthy, and being better players in 2026 than they were in 2025. That's not what they did at running back. That's not what they did at corner or some of the other positions. They went out and actively looked for a replacement, turned the room around. That is not what they did when in regards to the wide receiver room. Now, a question for me, Rob, is this. How long is it going to take the defense to come together? I'm pretty optimistic about the Chiefs' defense. I'm pretty hopeful about the direction that they are going in. But I do think it is going to be a little bit of a learning curve. And when you got as many young parts and young pieces as they have, and they are relying on this team, you're going to have to give their defense a little bit of grace. Think about the amount of guys that they are counting on, Rob, who have played, I would say, less than a season of meaningful football. Because Noah Williams, I mean, he played sparingly a little bit, but it's not like he was a day one starter and then played all the way through. He didn't really start to heat up until the second half of the season. Ashton Gillotte is in the exact same way. So I know that they played last year, but those were not day one starters the way that Creed Humphrey was, the way that Trey Smith were. So you're counting on guys like Ashton Gillotte. You're counting on guys like Noah Williams. You're counting on guys like Mansour Delane. You're counting on those kinds of players to really step up in your defense. We're not even counting a guy like R. Mason Thomas, Peter Woods, guys that are clearly going to be part of their rotation. So there's a handful of defensive players that just don't have a lot of experience that are going to be playing together for the first time or playing in the NFL for the first time. You're going to have to give their defense a little bit of time. And at least for me, Rob, the next question is, how set are they at tackle? Because left tackle, I would say, is a question mark. Maybe not in the same way in terms of productivity, but you only played in 8 games last year. You had a mental health issue that we don't really know what happened, don't need to know. That's your own personal business. And then at right tackle, this is Jalen Moore, presumably his first opportunity to start and be an every down player in the National Football League. So I understand why the Mahomes question is the biggest question circulating around Kansas City. It's your quarterback, the uncertainty if he's going to be there. But they got some other massive questions heading into this season about their ability to bounce back.
I think maybe what I'm about to say is the difference between like local and national media, and I'm not trying to get into a whole media conversation, but just I don't think Patrick Mahomes' health is their biggest question. Maybe that's because I just think he's going to play, and I think people are going to say all season long, like, oh, he's battling back from the injury, but I think he's going to play. And me and you are on the same page here. If he's going to be on the football field playing, the expectation is he's playing. There is no excuse, no nothing. So I don't view his health as the biggest question. I actually view wide receiver as their biggest question because I think the shroud, the conversation, all the stuff about Mahomes' health has kind of made people forget the offense stunk last year. And Mahomes played 14 of the 17 games. It wasn't like Mahomes got hurt in week 2, and that's why the offense was bad. The offense was stuck in neutral. They're spinning their tires, whatever analogy you want to use, most of the season. And the Chiefs have decided that is all because the run game stunk. And that's definitely a portion of it. I'm not going to disagree with that. But I think it's also because their wide receivers couldn't beat man-to-man, couldn't stay on the field, couldn't do a lot of things, and they didn't address that. So no disrespect to ESPN, I think it's a very fine question. If you're reading that article and you live in San Francisco, you probably agree. What's the deal with Mahomes' health? But here in Kansas City, I think he's playing, and I'm not going to make excuses for him when he's on the field. So my biggest question is wide receiver, not Mahomes' health.
Yeah, I certainly understand that, at least when it comes to Patrick Mahomes and kind of where you are with the roster. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like I'm not worried about the wide receiver room. I think I'm a little bit more confident in Rashee Rice than you seem to be. I'm probably less confident on Xavier Worthy than you are. But I think maybe where you and I disagree the most when it comes to their offense is I think the running back room and I think the threat of being able to run the ball has a much greater effect on their offense than you are giving it credit for, where I think for the last couple of years, even more so last season, I think trying to play offense with one arm tied behind your back is really, really difficult. And when you have a run game that defenses do not need to account for, are not worried about in really any regard, and doesn't give you any measure of explosiveness, I think teams attack your offense in a way that they don't attack other teams. I think for the first time in a little bit, teams are going to have to respect the RPO. They're going to have to respect play action. You're going to be able to, on a 2nd and 4, you're going to be able to get a 20, 25-yard run that can really break the game open. They just haven't had that ability from the running back room over the last couple of years, and you would think now, in theory, they do.
We actually agree more so than I think. I am not saying the offense didn't have to improve the run game. It did. I mean, it was bad. I don't think that was the only problem with the offense, and I don't think its improvement is going to be the rising tide that lifts all boats. I think Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy still are going to struggle to beat man-to-man. I don't think because Pacheco stunk is why Rashee Rice couldn't beat a man-to-man. I think the RPO thing is Patrick Mahomes and scheme. I don't think it's Isaiah Pacheco Mitchell Schwartz came on this show. He did a great breakdown on Instagram. There were running lanes there last year on the RPO. Pat threw. Is he going to throw this year or hand it off? I don't know.
I think a lot of that's just trust and confidence in the guys that you are playing with. And I think it's very safe to say that last year the Chiefs as a whole did not have a whole lot of confidence in their running game and didn't really trust it. There were maybe times in which I think I agree with you. I wish they had shown a little bit more trust in it. But their run game, it's hard for me to argue they should have run the ball a whole lot more effectively than they were. One of their running backs instantly signed a backup deal. Their other running back, the Chiefs' leading running back from last year is fully healthy and still available in free agency. That should tell you everything you need to know about last year's team. He doesn't have an off-the-field issue like we're talking about with Stephon Diggs. He doesn't have an injury concern like we're talking about with Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs' leading rusher from last season is sitting there in free agency, and you have not heard his name. He does not have a nibble right now in terms of interest. That tells me everything I need to know about their run game.
I actually, like I said, I agree. Their run game was bad last year. I have wonder if the run game is going to be the rising tide lifts all boats. It's possible Kenneth Walker is just so much better than Isaiah Pacheco. It opens up things at all three levels. What I worry about is what was a 3-yard run with Pacheco is now a 5-yard run with Kenneth Walker, but now it's 3rd and 5, and someone's got to get open, and no one can. Because they couldn't last year. And 3rd and 5 is going to happen at some point this season. Unless you have Barry Sanders back behind Patrick Mahomes, which you don't, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, football's going to happen. Those guys never got open in those scenarios last year. I still have worried the talent of that group is going to be able to get open in 2026.
I think maybe a very simplistic way of summing this up is this. The Chiefs did not have RB1 last year. They had a leading rusher. They did not have RB1. Those are two different things. They now have an RB1 on their team. I don't think the Chiefs had a wide receiver one last year on their team, where I do think they will have one this season. Now, I don't think that Rashee Rice is going out there and having 1,200 yards, but having a guy that plays, let's say Rashee Rice plays in 15 games this year. He misses a couple because of injury. It's football, right? Not everybody plays all 17 games. If you get 15 games of Rashee Rice, I think he will give you wide receiver one-like numbers. And I think those two things, adding them to your offense, having a wide receiver that can have over 900 yards and having a running back who is capable, I think that does wonders for your offense and what I think the higher projection of them can potentially be. I'm curious to get you guys' thoughts. 913-586-7965. They are asking a question for every team in the National Football League. And the biggest question for Kansas City was about Patrick Mahomes. Is he going to be available for week one, and what does he look like in week one? Rob said he already thinks that question's been answered. So his question is about the wide receiver room. Where's your confidence level on the wide receiver room? Coming up on the other side, let's keep the Chiefs conversation going. Let's talk about, there was a tweet from Jesse Newell. Are we having a right tackle debate? Let's have it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading Bargain liquid detergent.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. Maybe you're smelling upset. Currently, Tunisia is trading at just 16% probability to best the Netherlands. You know, a local match if you're looking for that. Meaning, a $100 trade could net you $667 in profit. That's, of course, if they win the match. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house, and probability changes, so you can buy in and out of your position. And for a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get $10 when you trade 10. K-A-L-S-H-I, Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ for those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
I hope you're sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you are a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive. Call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone at 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
Community Blood Center is teaming up with the Kansas City Royals for our annual Royals Weeks. Now through June 14th, help keep our blood supply strong ahead of these critical summer months. Join us to donate blood and receive 2 tickets to a select Royals home game this season. With a single donation, you could be the reason up to 3 people get out of the hospital and into the stands this summer. Schedule your donation today at savealifenow.org or call 877-468-6844.
Hi, I'm Amanda, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As director of bridal design, I travel the world for inspiration so that your engagement ring stands out from the rest. My team of in-house designers and I work alongside skilled artisans to curate the most beautiful collection of exclusive engagement rings. At Shane Company, you'll find the ring that's a reflection of your unique style. No cookie-cutter designs here. See our selection in-store or at shaneco.com. Because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball, hockey to golf, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this. 816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law, 816-888-7500. Mike's got this. North KC, that's a stall, 35 northbound at Armour, 210 Highway. Right lane is blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Let me ask you guys this before we talk about this Jesse Newell tweet. Rob, do you think that the confidence is in Rashee Rice, or do you think the confidence is in Chad O'Shea? Because I would say over the last 90 days, the text line has turned Chad O'Shea into, but I do get a lot of sense that there is a unbelievable amount of confidence in Chad O'Shea to turn around the career path for Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy we had last season with Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. Are you getting that vibe, Rob? Because that's what I'm picking up from the text line.
I 100,000% agree. I don't know that Chiefs fans are actually excited about the receiving core they have. I think they're just excited because they think Chad O'Shea is going to fix it. And honestly, I don't talk to other teams, other cities like this, but I don't know there's a position coach in the NFL who is as popular as Chad O'Shea is in Kansas City. The way he's talked about...
You know what? Maybe Big Dom. Big Dom might be the only other
But is he a
one.
position coach or is he like head of security? I don't really know his
somebody.
job.
I don't know. He's somebody.
His job is to be the adult in the room for Nick Sirianni. But like, I think Chad O'Shea is going to have a positive impact. I just think people talk about him like he's going to take a bunch of 68s in Madden and turn them into 99s, where I think he's going to improve the room but not make it infallible. So I think the view fans have of him is just insane to me.
Can I have this question? I'm not arguing. I'm not telling you that Chad O'Shea will do great or bad. I can't think of a position coach that has come in with this level of hype. Someone on the text lines says, well, he can't make them worse, can he? Someone else says they might be a little bit better, but I don't think it's realistic to think that this new coach is coming in and turning these guys into all pros. Rob, is there a receiver that I could point to with Chad O'Shea? You know how, for example, George Brett, every time he talks about hitting and his struggles, he talks about Charlie Lau? He says every time, without Charlie Lau, I would not be here. I am the player I am today because of this person. Who is that person with Chad O'Shea? Like, I'm trying to understand a little bit where all of this confidence comes with Chad O'Shea, where if you're a Chiefs fan, you can just point to what you did with that person. We want you to come in here and do that thing with Rashee Rice. That thing that you did with that guy, I want you to do the exact same thing with Xavier Worthy. Who is that player with Chad O'Shea that people feel very confident in?
Julian Edelman. That's the name.
Okay. I mean, that's a great player.
Danny Amendola probably also, if any of those gritty coach's son, the ones that are always in the gym, film rats, any of those types that are in New England, I think fans will point to those guys as Chad O'Shea made them.
Okay. I just would like to point out that Tom Brady made Charlie Weiss one of the hottest commodities in the National Football League. Then when we saw that he got away from Tom Brady, things didn't really work out that well for Charlie Weiss. Really, anywhere else that he went, that Tom Brady was not there. So I'm not saying that Chad O'Shea is not a good. I'm just saying is from 2009 to 2018 with the New England Patriots, everybody was having incredible success because Tom Brady was there. Tom Brady was around.
I mean, you can say something about Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien got multiple. Bill O'Brien's employed right now probably because of Tom Brady.
Okay. I was just curious to know. Someone said Deion Branch. If you're walking into if I'm asking you to show me your credentials and you're telling me Deion Branch is the guy, okay. All right. Jerry Jeudy? Is that the guy we would point to? Jerry Jeudy?
Did Jerry Jeudy get better in Cleveland?
I mean, I love Jerry Jeudy. You love a Denver Broncos receiver.
To be fair, Cortland Sutton would be this team's number one.
In 2024, he had a phenomenal season. He had 90 catches for 1,200 yards and 4 touchdowns. He had a phenomenal year, his best year. Now, last year, he was back to being Jerry Jeudy.
How many targets did he have that 94 catch season?
I'll pull it up here. Again, I don't want you guys to think that I'm thinking that I don't. I'm just saying I don't know if Chad O'Shea is this miracle worker the way that everybody else keeps telling me he is. Like the way he gets discussed. He gets talked about like he's Dave Duncan. He gets talked about like he's Leo Mazzoni. You remember those Braves back in the days? Like, hey, go to that guy. That guy's going to turn you into an all-star. That's how we've kind of talked about Chad O'Shea for the last couple of weeks. And I'm like, who are we basing this on? What's the opinion? That season you were talking about, he had 145 targets. So he was healthy, honestly, for the first time. And he got a lot of balls thrown his way. Now, he was phenomenal. I'm not here to knock the year that Jerry Jeudy had 2 years ago. 90 catches, 1,200 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's a phenomenal season. Then last year, it was kind of back to normal for Jerry Jeudy. He had 106 targets. He had 50 catches for 600 yards and 2 touchdowns. They had all the quarterback issues in the world last year. I can't tell you who the Browns quarterback was last season. They had 7 different answers.
I mean, to be fair, can I say something about 24? It wasn't like,
for sure.
It wasn't like 2024 was some, the Browns had so-and-so. So they really couldn't be stopped on offense because they had so-and-so at the helm.
Someone on the text line says, the same thing you could say about Belichick. Where would he be without Tom Brady? Yeah. Yes. I hope that wasn't a you got you. No, you might be right. The best thing that ever happened to Bill Belichick was that Tom Brady appeared. That seems to be the case. The further he's got away from Tom Brady, he don't look like the evil genius anymore. 100%.
I mean, you got to be pretty smart to pull someone half your age, right?
No, you don't. You just got to have a lot of money is what you got to have. So on the text line, so C-Dot, are you saying that you think Brady has more of an impact than Patrick Mahomes? Absolutely, I think that's the case. Absolutely. If we're talking about, in the context of what we are discussing, if we are saying, give me examples of players who I don't think would have worked anywhere else, but worked in the Patriot system, there are way more examples of those things than with the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't have a Danny Amendola type of a guy who I'm not really sure a Danny Amendola works if he gets drafted by the Minnesota Vikings. He got picked by the New England Patriots, and he was phenomenal as a player. I'm not saying Mahomes can't do that, but we've been watching Patrick Mahomes now for almost a decade. And if we're still using the Albert Wilson example in 2017, I rest my case on those kind of things. So, yes, in this regard, Brady and that system, they did a lot better job. We wouldn't be worried about the wide receiver room if Tom Brady was their quarterback. Brady had a history of making this wide receiver room work. That Patriots team with those wide receivers, they'd have had a top 10 wide receiver room if this was 2006. So yeah, 100%.
I think it's a weird time because I do think Chad O'Shea is going to improve the team, but I like to think I want to imagine what fans thought was happening in the wide receiver room last year. Like Connor Embry was bad at his job. I get that. I'm not disagreeing with that. But it wasn't like he was in film study, be like, hey, guys, run out of bounds. And Chad O'Shea's like, hey, keep an eye out for the white line. And that's going to just change everything. Like, some of it's the talent in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of that's too. But, yeah, I do think Chad O'Shea is going to make a difference. Again, I don't want to make it seem like I don't think that Chad O'Shea is a good coach. I'm only pushing back on this that we have now turned him into a miracle worker. Like, we have turned him into Leo Mazzoni, Dave Duncan. Remember when Mizzou used to have that D-line coach, Coach Cool?
Yeah, Craig something, yeah.
That's what we've turned him into. Who was the
Hootie was the trainer at KU,
the strength and conditioning. You know we turned Chad O'Shea into? Danny Manning. You remember there was that time there, KU was convinced Danny Manning was the big man whisperer. Funny, he stopped being the big man whisperer once he left Kansas. Shocking enough. When he didn't get McDonald's All-Americans anymore, you can't think of another big man that Danny Manning produced. But back in the day, oh my goodness. You give Danny Manning a Kevin Young, he turned Kevin Young into a Big 12 all-conference player. That's how people talk about Chad O'Shea. That's the only point I was trying to make about the guy. I wasn't trying to hate on him. I promise you, I wasn't trying to hate on him. Can I share something with you guys? This is actually very important. And coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to be joined by someone in Tennessee to talk about L'Jarius Sneed and why things didn't work in the Titans uniform. We all love Charles Barkley, right? I think Charles Barkley is amazing. I think Charles Barkley is hilarious. I think he is one of the absolute best to do this job. Charles Barkley has had a lot of incredible moments. He had the Galveston. The Galveston bit might actually be my favorite Charles Barkley bit. He had the big old women down in San Antonio bit. He's had so many of them. What Charles Barkley said last night on the broadcast might honestly be the funniest thing that he has ever said.
It has as the New York Knicks up 7, looking for a 3-0 lead. We've been competing with Cardi B here. We lost. Hey, I don't know if those B's, that might be Cardi B's. I'm pretty sure those are B's.
It was so perfect if you were watching it. It really was. It was so perfect. Because, they're doing their serious basketball thing and they're breaking down the game. And, it was a good conversation, good spirited conversation. They then cut to Cardi B. Now, I'm not saying your mind is in the gutter. Maybe my mind is in the gutter, but we were all thinking the exact same thing. I know what I was thinking in that moment, but I'm sitting there by myself. I didn't have anybody to share that thought with. Next thing I know, Charles Barkley says exactly what I was thinking at the right time. I let out an audible laugh as I was there watching the game. And I thought instantly, this is Chuck at his absolute best. I mean, that's 100-mile-an-hour heat right on the black. It was absolutely perfect. I know that some of you are not the biggest NBA fans in the world. I don't know if you could really ask for a better NBA night than what we got last night. Now, we're going to talk about what happened after the game here in just a little bit. But, Rob, just the amount of celebrity engagement, the amount of storylines, I'm sitting there watching it. Rob, I don't even care. But I'm sitting there and I'm screaming at DJ Khaled, get off the phone. Every time they cut to DJ Khaled, Rob, did you not look? He was on his phone. Like, what are you doing? You're sitting courtside at the Knicks game. Are you checking emails? Get off the phone. They have Mariska Hargitay over there, Elliott and Stabler, two New York legends. They got Jeter right there. They had Eli Manning right there. The game lived up to the hype. Wemby was phenomenal. The crowd was great. Inside the NBA was great. If you're a fan of basketball, if you're a fan of the NBA, last night was an enjoyable night of television and watching the NBA. And Charles Barkley, who has had some legendary one-liners, some legendary zingers, he might have had his best one last night, Rob. That Cardi D's line is hilarious to me.
Is there another person in media who could have said that and then we talked about today and laughing? Like, I mean this was a positive to Chuck. He just has kind of carte blanche to say whatever, and the next day we all laugh and we move on. If any other person in the, not NBA, NFL, if Tony Romo had said that, we're talking today about how cringy and weird it was. Charles says it, and it's the funniest thing ever. He has a level of protected, it's insane to me. But is that his funniest bit? Do you have that at one, or I know what your favorite is, but did this overcome what your favorite is?
The Galveston is always it's just the way Chuck sets it up and then the way he just says Galveston, that's the one that makes me laugh. So if I'm giving my Charles Barkley power ranking, Galveston is 1, Cardi D's is 2. It's 2 for me. It was instantly funny. Instantly, I had to go on social media to see the reaction and watch the clip again. I've watched that clip at least 15 times, and I laugh every single time. It's absolutely hilarious. It's Barkley at his absolute best. You're right. It is. There's only one broadcaster that could have made that joke, and it landed. There's not a single other sports broadcaster that could have made it, and it would have been either uncomfortable or they wouldn't delivered it correctly. Charles' comedic timing to say those kind of things, it's second to none. It was absolutely hilarious.
I think his best bit is the women in San Antonio. I think that's the one he sets up perfectly, and he has just layers and layers off of it. But I mean, just Charles Barkley, man, he's so good. He's so good at this. But I was watching last night and I heard him say Cardi D's, and I legit thought that he had misspoke. And I rewound multiple times and listened. It was very well done by Chuck.
No, it absolutely was. It was absolutely phenomenal, is what it was. Am I the only one that started to get the sense yesterday? I think the tide officially turned on Knicks fans last night. I think for the most part, America was cheering for the Knicks. I think America was cheering for the Knicks fan base, I think they were cheering for them for the most part. I really do. The videos that we have seen outside New York City after the game of Knicks fans just randomly beating up people in San Antonio jerseys is insane. It looks like the Purge. I'm serious. These are people that are not bothering anybody, walking down the streets in San Antonio Spurs uniforms. A mob then forms around these people and then starts attacking them for seemingly no reason other than you cheer for the San Antonio Spurs. It's like fan racism. It's like hate bashing is what it looked like. It was nuts. I think for the most part, the public has been on the side of Knicks fans. I hate the fact that they had to go through all that stuff yesterday in order to attend the game. I hate that they couldn't have the watch party right there in the front of the stadium and support and do all of those things. I hate that their sports fandom in the absolute biggest moment was inconvenienced last night. I want to see the Knicks win a championship. The Spurs have won 5 times in our lifetime. They got a 22-year-old 7'4" guy on their team. They'll probably win a championship at some point. I don't know when Wemby will win one. Maybe he'll win this one. I don't think so, but maybe he will. Wemby is not finishing his career with 0 championships. He's far too good of a player, far too unique of a player. This might be the Knicks' one chance. I feel like America is rooting for the Knicks. But after watching that video, there was a part of me that's just like, the sports gods cannot reward this. They cannot reward you acting like this. It really looked like a scene out of and it wasn't just like one incident of this. If you're on social media, there's like 4 or 5 incidents of guy walking down the street. He's in a Spurs uniform. All of a sudden, his fight or flight instinct kicks in and he realizes, I got to be prepared to throw my hands up or this could get real bad for me. And people just start fighting each other because they cheer for the Spurs. It's wild.
New York started looking like New York again last night. They are, because of the big city, they are the price of tickets. They're all Yankees fans and most people hate Yankees fans. Knicks fans return to what Knicks fans are, which is hated by most everyone else in the world. They had this nice little run of positivity and happiness, and everyone loved them. And they were Ben Stiller and Timothée Chalamet, and they were going to take over your town, Atlanta. They're going to take over your town, Cleveland. But last night, the Spurs won a basketball game. And to my knowledge, based on the videos I've seen, Spurs fans weren't in the streets talking smack. They just got hit for no reason. So I think Knicks fans...
I don't even care if you're talking smack. It doesn't give people the right to just savagely attack you in the street the way that they were doing yesterday. That's what it looked like to me. Just a savage takedowns of it. Now, I'm all for wearing your team's colors. Like, I'll walk into Allen Fieldhouse with the Mizzou jacket on, with the Mizzou sweater. I've never felt like I couldn't wear my stuff. If you're going to Game 4 as a Spurs fan and you just see those videos, I don't know how you can feel comfortable about wearing Spurs gear. I'm just wearing a regular T-shirt. It ain't that serious. I'm not dying over this team. Like, there was one video. I thought they could have killed that man. Have you seen the one video where they're the white guy on the ground? They're the white guy on the ground, and it is Knicks fans stomping and kicking him while he is on the ground. They could have killed that man. I'm not wearing any Spurs stuff. Yeah, I'll cheer for my team, I'll support my team. But when I go outside, I want you guys to think either I'm one of y'all or I'm neutral. Hey, I didn't even go to the game. What are you talking about? I just left the bar down there. I'm not wearing any rival gang colors. Not down there. Not in that hood. Not the way they were acting outside the stadium. It was nuts. If you haven't seen the video, I'm telling you, it is some of the craziest footage I have seen leaving a stadium and how it was. And I don't want to make it seem like that's every Knicks fan. I'm sure there were a lot of watch parties, all of those things. I don't want to let the few bad apples spoil the whole bunch. And I'm telling you, I started to get the sense that the tone and tenor has switched against the Knicks fans. I can't support that. That was wild what they had going on. I want to see the Knicks win the series. I want to see them win the NBA championship. I want to see that fan base happy. I don't want to see anybody happy that was participating in what they had going on yesterday. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Tune in to hear the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, Denny Matthews.
There's a high fly ball, deep left center. Back goes Ward to the wall. Gone. Bobby Witt Jr.
Every Monday at 3, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
Who do you think will be wearing the ring at the end of the NBA Finals? Well, take your shot with FanDuel, and you might be celebrating a victory of your very own. Right now, new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel is the best place to bet all your favorite players during the NBA's biggest event. Seek out individual player markets for baskets and rebounds, or build an epic same-game parlay for your chance at a bigger payout. And with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to join now to get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel, an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a data analyst.
Hey, what model did you use for these quarterly projections?
Astrology. If Mercury's in retrograde, sales tank. If Venus is rising, we crush Q4.
You built our revenue forecast off horoscopes?
Yeah, the Zodiac never lies.
This is a job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Hey DQ fans, nothing could make Father's Day more memorable than a DQ cake. Treat Dad, aka Pops, Poppy, or Papa, to one of our delicious fudge and crunch cakes. Or get a cake in one of our other Blizzard treat flavors like Oreo cookie. Customize your DQ cake with a message that celebrates the big guy and all the wonderful things he does. Trust us, it's a lot more fun than a pair of socks or another wacky tie. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I went to Staples for a custom printed graduation banner and invites and saw that Party City is now at Staples.
Wait, what?
Party City is now at Staples.
So now Staples has balloons?
Yep.
Decorations?
Yes.
Streamers, cups, table covers?
Yep, Staples has everything for a party. And now buy 2 get 1 free on select foil balloons.
Holy confetti! So the best party started Staples.
That was easy.
In 613 select stores, exclusions apply. In-store or buy online. Pick up in-store only.
This summer, grab a Truly Hard Seltzer. Light, bubbly, fruity, and make your dreams come truly. Join us for our game day watch parties on June 12th, 19th, and 25th at Peanuts locations. Truly Hard Seltzer, the official hard seltzer of U.S. Soccer. Visit Odyssey.com/965thefan for more info on watch parties. And visit TrulyHardSeltzer.com/locations to find Truly near you. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, LLC, Boston, Massachusetts. Hard Seltzer, 5% alcohol by volume. Please drink responsibly. 21 plus only.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
This Royals coverage is brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. Looking for the perfect Father's Day gift? Right now at Peter's Clothiers, save 30% on select Johnny O styles. Premium comfort, timeless style, and savings Dad will love. Stop by Peter's Clothiers today at 124th and State Line Road.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Now I see some red near Raytown, 435 northbound just past Gregory. It is the right lane blocked. That looks like a stall. North KC, that's a stall. Looks like a big rig. 35 northbound at Armour, 210 Highway. Scoot to the left through here. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. You're listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Coming up at the top of the hour, we are going to head to Nashville, Tennessee. We're going to join by Easton Freeze, who covers the Titans. We're going to learn more about what went wrong for L'Jarius Sneed in a Titans uniform. I mean, it almost never really got going for L'Jarius Sneed, honestly, as he joined the Tennessee Titans. I mean, almost as quickly as he got there, I mean, that thing started to break down almost instantly for him. Rob, he signed a 4-year contract 2 years ago for 4 years, $76 million, and he has already been released from the deal. I mean, that contract, that's one of the worst free agent signings, I would say, in the last 5 or 6 years or so. It just almost instantly failed for them. He wasn't even a free agent. They traded something for him to then give him this 4-year contract that he never really lived up to.
I mean, it's a really bad contract. I can't think of one off the top of my head that's worse, but I mean, giving that much money to a corner whose body broke down and you cut him halfway into the deal is very bad if you're the Tennessee Titans. And honestly, not even the worst thing that happened to the Titans that timeline, because they've had really bad team, generally speaking.
Can I ask you this question really quickly about Texas Tech? Because I just saw your tweet during the commercial break where they released a statement about this Brendan Sorsby kid. By now, you guys know the story. I'm sure you know the story. Brendan Sorsby gambled on his team when he was back at Indiana. He has now gone to rehab. He has now gone to treatment. The NCAA banned him from playing college football. He has now been allowed to play football because of an injunction. The hearing would actually be after the college football season. So unless the NCAA is going to continue to fight and fight and fight and fight, I think that Brendan Sorsby is going to play this season. I think this is a small part of it, but hear me out, Rob. How much of this do you think is people hate Texas Tech and what it stands for? I would say every cycle, there is a school that randomly pops up and gets good. And we always used to wonder, how do they do that? I mean, back in the 80s, that was SMU, right? Hey, Oklahoma's doing this, Nebraska's doing this, Ohio State, Michigan. Wait, how is SMU getting all of this talent? How are they getting all this kids? Then that happens. Fast forward. You remember that Hugh Freeze Ole Miss? How does Ole Miss have the number one recruiting class? Well, we found out how Ole Miss had the number one recruiting class. They was cheating. I feel like we see these examples pop up every 5-7 years in college football. Texas Tech, they did not get good the old-fashioned way, networking and building connections. No, they got really good the real old-fashioned way. They got one rich dude paying for everything. And I think a lot of times people hate when a college gets good that way. They got one booster who is worth $1 billion, who has made it his mission. I want to see my alma mater be good at sports. And it does not matter the sport. They're paying big-time money for women's softball. They're paying big-time money for basketball, football. If it is Texas Tech Red Raiders athletics, he is paying for it right now. How much do you think some of this backlash, and I mean more so directed toward the university and the team as a whole, like Kansas State does not play Texas Tech in football this year. Gene Taylor So Gene Taylor coming out, I understand you being frustrated. You're not going to play Texas Tech in basketball because of something that happened on the football team? Like, some of the rhetoric to me just seems heavy-handed, and it did feel like outrage Olympics yesterday. Everybody wanted to outrage the next person that was going. But how much of this backlash directed directly at Texas Tech stems from the fact of they are beating you right now at your own game? Everybody can spend money. Everybody has the same resources. They just got one person with more money than you have, and they got one person that is more willing to spend money on this.
I would say 85 to 90%. Because right, wrong, or indifferent, I think fans hate the modern era of college sports because it feels like the Wild Wild West. And the fact that we're going to pay players, there's no cap, there's no rules, you can talk to them anytime, and it's just a cash grab at all chances. And at first, that ire was on the players. And there still are players who get that ire, like PJ Haggerty gets that. But now, the face of the program that said, yeah, we're just going to outbid everyone is Texas Tech. And now, that one rich donor you're mentioning is legitimately in D.C. arguing for change to college sports. So it feels like, wait a second, you're the one, thriving in this world that no one likes, and you're also the one advocating and lobbying to fix it in D.C. It feels like, what are we doing? So Texas Tech has become the face of unpopular college sports. I think if Brendan Sorsby played for Washington, it wouldn't be this big. I think Tech has a huge part to deal with it.
I think the Brendan Sorsby part of it would be a big deal. I don't know if the school part of it would be a big deal. For the example I just made, like Gene Taylor came out, and I would say there is no school that came out more anti-Texas Tech than K-State did. They do not play Texas Tech in football this year. They do not play them. So literally, Brandon Sorsby does not directly affect them. Still came out and just said, we're thinking about not playing them. The Big Ten had a message. The Big Ten came out and said, we are coming together. We're having a conversation about if we are going to take Texas Tech off of everybody's schedule. Nebraska already said, we are not playing them this year.
Georgia said something similar, I believe. Georgia's having a meeting about not playing them.
Which, again, another thing. There's no Big Ten team on Texas Tech's football schedule. That's why I say yesterday felt a little bit of outrage Olympics. The Big Ten now came out and said we're not playing Texas Tech when you don't have a single team scheduled to play Texas Tech. So wait, you're not going to play them in the playoff if one of your teams, so Ohio State, is committing to not playing them in the playoff? Now, this will be interesting to me with Brendan Sorsby. I do think that the Big 12 can get him removed. I think if the rest of the members make enough of a stink and are unified about it, I think they could pressure Texas Tech into dismissing him from the team. But they have to have a united front. When does college athletics ever show a united front about something? This has to be that you have to cast somebody out. Are the other schools in the Big 12 willing to cast out Texas Tech for this? What you did is so egregious, so ridiculous. We are all in unison standing against you to be able to do this. This cannot come from the Big Ten. This does not come from the SEC. This has to come from teams and schools that are partners with Texas Tech. Schools that are as equally financially invested in this thing as Texas Tech in their conference. If K-State really doesn't want to play Texas Tech in anything, they can't be the only team in the Big 12 that feels this way. They got to get everybody to feel that way. I think that's the only way you can get them kicked off the team. Because Texas Tech has shown they are not kicking him off the team. They are not going to be the ones to do it. The NCAA is not going to be the ones to do it. The courts are not going to be the one to do it. It needs to be the other member schools of the Big 12 if they're serious about getting that kid ineligible for this season.
And let's see, getting a bunch of ADs and college presidents to agree on something is apparently the most difficult thing in all of sports. So I am interested if the Big 12 can apply pressure, but have you seen Brett Yormark's 2 nothing burger statements? I'm not sure he's the guy to galvanize the group.
Yeah, someone on the text line says fans care 0 about hating, 0 about Texas Tech winning. It's 100% about the betting thing right now. I refuse to believe that Kansas State doesn't want to play Texas Tech in basketball because they are allowing their quarterback to be eligible. You cannot tell me it's 100% because they're letting that kid play. I refuse. It has to be something else very much at play. The Big Ten is saying that they want to take Texas Tech off all of their schedules when none of them have Texas Tech on their schedule. I do feel like some of this is just backlash of Texas Tech. They are doing it the way you're not supposed to do it. They are outbidding everybody. They're out buying up all the property on the board. I do think there's a little hateration, holleration towards Texas Tech for how they have played this thing. They are the face of what everybody think is wrong with college athletics. If you hate the transfer rules, if you hate NIL the way that it is governed, Texas Tech, they have leaned into all of it when it comes to how they've built their rosters over the last couple of years. Coming up on the other side, we're going to head to Nashville, Tennessee. What went wrong with Snead in the Titans uniform? We'll find out together. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive.
My man Carrington Harrison.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Now, I see some red near Raytown, 435 northbound just past Gregory. It is the right lane blocked. That looks like a stall. North KC, that's a stall. Looks like a big rig. 35 northbound at Armour, 210 Highway. Scoot to the left through here. I'm bound with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Even on weekends and holidays, Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric shows up. Expect reliable HVAC plumbing or electric service. Plus, enjoy $500 off a new HVAC system this summer. Schedule your free consultation at AnthonyPHCE.com.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Hey, what's up, Flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
The biggest stage in world soccer is days away, and every goal changes everything. And now, FanDuel's giving you a reason to root for every single one. Introducing Every Goal Pays. Bet on a match and get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. That's right. More goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now and get it on Every Goal Pays. That's FanDuel.com/local. Maybe you want to bet on one of the early matches in the entire tournament. Germany and Curacao. Probably a lot of goals going to be scored in that one, at least on the German side. Or one of the first matches in Kansas City with Argentina and Algeria. You can do that over at FanDuel. Let there be goals over on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbooks, the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Opt-in required. Must apply bonus token. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Brought to you by Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control has been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer. Schedule your AC system tune-up for just $49. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Join us at 96.5 The Fan's World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut in the Northland on June 12th with The Drive, starting at 2 and kickoff at 8. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933. The Cody and Gold Garage Sale benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum is on Wednesday, June 10th on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Easton Freeze. He is with A to Z Sports in Nashville, learning a little bit more about L'Jarius Sneed, who is now the newest member of the Kansas City Chiefs. Easton, how you doing, my man?
Hello again, Carrington. Thanks for having me back, man.
Absolutely, man. Happy to have you on here, man. If we're talking Titans, we're talking to you. Let's start with this. What went wrong with L'Jarius Sneed in Tennessee? Is it just injuries? Is it anything else? But what went wrong in your mind?
It's a tricky question to answer, and it's hard to answer with anything besides his body just gave out on him. Because when he was on the field, which was all of, I think, single-digit games over 2 seasons, it wasn't like it was unplayable. It wasn't consistent enough, and it certainly wasn't what the Titans were paying him to be. But there were a couple of games, and you probably know how this goes. I feel like every team deals with this. Cornerbacks, in particular, are a position that fans love to hate, and it feels like we appreciate them more in hindsight than we do in the moment because it's easy to just blame things on them. When I would go back and watch the games that he did play, again, far too sparsely, he played fine football at times and played good football at times, but he just was never on the field, and it wasn't consistent, and there were times where you could either tell or you were at least wondering, is he 100% out there? Because he's kind of getting bodied right now by Michael Pittman or whoever it is. So that's the bottom line in terms of why the Titans moved on from him when they did, at least, is that we couldn't see if he still had it or not because he could never get into a rhythm because he couldn't stay on the field.
Every fan base has those contracts that just fail. This was a long time ago. Longtime Chiefs fans will remember. They had a chance to get Kendrell Bell. You remember him, linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He came to Kansas City, and you could have ripped that contract up immediately. It just did not work in Kansas City. Where would you say Sneed ranks amongst Titans players? You guys gave him 4 years, $76 million, and he played in 13 games for you guys. How do you sort of rank this in terms of disappointing free agent contracts that you've seen Tennessee sign?
Oh, in terms of free agents, it's him, man. They have famously had some nightmarish draft picks. If anybody in the Kansas City area remembers tackle Isaiah Wilson out of Georgia. That guy was awesome. But in terms of free agent acquisitions, and maybe if you go back far enough, you can find one, but proportional to the amount of money they were being paid, let's put it that way, like big boy, number one at your position, elite money. This is the disaster.
Right now, we're talking to Easton Freeze, learning a little bit more about the Tennessee Titans, learning a little bit more about L'Jarius Sneed. Easton, how much do you think Sneed has left in the tank? I think the Chiefs fans are going into this with realistic expectations. Nobody expecting him to be the player that was in Kansas City, not even the player that got traded to Tennessee. But in terms of being a corner number 3, cornerback number 4 on a 1-year, $5 million deal, is that somebody you would feel confident paying?
At that price point, yeah, it's obviously extremely different from what the Titans were paying him. And I am somebody that over the past 2 years has been more of a defender of his actual play than most. I think that he can, when he is 100% healthy, I think that he can play. And he has something, and again, Titans fans didn't ever get to see this, but talking to coaches and people around both the Chiefs and the Titans when he was here, he is a player that coaches in locker rooms really covet, because one of the more underrated things in the sport that we don't really talk a whole lot about as fans because we can't really quantify it is guys that are alphas, like true alphas, and you have to have a certain number of true alphas on a team and in a locker room, and coaches are looking for that kind of guy at a much higher rate than I think fans realize. And there's you have it. You either have it or you don't. And every time, whether he was hurt or healthy, I would talk to somebody privately about Sneed in Tennessee. It was like, man, he has that. He has that. And I don't know if that's something that he developed in his time in Kansas City, playing in Super Bowls and big playoff games and playing at the top of the league at one point when he was at the peak of his powers. Wherever it came from, I don't know. But he has that in him. And so when he's healthy, I think he has the mindset and the physical ability to be a useful low-end starter, high-end backup. It's just a giant question mark of is his body done? His body might just be done.
That's a major point that I made yesterday when we were discussing the move, and I know it's different in Kansas City than it is in Tennessee, but right now, every layer of the defense has one of those guys that's sort of been here through the fire. On the D-line, the Chiefs have Chris Jones, who is going to Canton, Ohio someday. In that linebacker room, you got Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquill. Adding a guy like L'Jarius Sneed where you've got those young guys, and now you put Sneed into a situation where it's the same defensive coordinator, the same defensive backs coach from when he was here. I feel like this is a great situation for Sneed to just hit the ground running.
Oh, it's not a great situation. It's the only situation he, I think, has any chance of restoring his career in. I think it's the only situation. Another thing about Sneed that I'll kind of talk about more now than I did at the moment, because it's hindsight here in Tennessee at this point, is the people that I talked to who are familiar with the actual trade and his time in Kansas City versus his time in Tennessee. The vibe that I got is that he's somebody that he was somebody coming out who needed a really good home to develop into a pro. He got that in Kansas City, and he became a kind of a son of Kansas City, a son of that program, and he flourished there, and he became a pro. He became an extremely high-level player and played in the biggest spots and was one of the best corners in the league. And when he was traded, I do think there was some sense of betrayal a little bit. Not that there isn't that, I guess, when anybody gets traded and they don't expect it, but I think he got kind of put out on his butt in the cold a little bit and sent to a new, unfamiliar place, and it just never really clicked here in Tennessee. And so this is a prodigal son thing to me. This is a returning home for a guy who is desperately seeking the version of himself that got him such a massive contract in the first place, as his body, to at least some extent, is starting to fail him by no fault of his own, just the nature of his biology. He's either going to figure it out here or he's done in the NFL. And if I can speak for Titans fans quickly, I think every Titans fan in the world is worried because they're thinking he better not go, be awesome again, because that is going to be just some unbelievable salt in the wound.
Last thing here, Easton, from a football standpoint, did you guys ever use him at safety? Because a lot of Chiefs fans here are thinking, maybe the plan is to put him a little bit more at safety, maybe have him roam around a little bit because of the injury, and maybe keep one of the younger guys at corner. Was that something you guys ever kind of dabbled in when he was in Tennessee?
No, and you know what? You mentioning that just gave me like a That's So Raven flashback to the summer between his two seasons here, because I remember that being a talking point at one point. Folks kind of wondering, hey, maybe, play style-wise, understanding of the league and, having seen a thing or two, body type-wise, like he could, it makes sense on paper, right? It makes sense that he could do that. The Titans didn't end up ever really trying that, again, because first of all, they paid him to be a top cornerback, and they needed him because they really didn't have much else in the cupboard. But he also was never really healthy long enough for them to play around with it as far as I'm concerned. But if Kansas City goes and does it, it won't surprise me because I remember us talking about it here.
That is Easton Freeze joining us on the show. He's with A to Z Sports in Nashville, talking a little bit of L'Jarius Sneed, who was on the Titans. He now plays for the Chiefs. Easton, great stuff, man. We'll catch up with you down the line.
Whenever you need me, Carrington, thanks.
Absolutely. That's Easton Freeze joining us on the show. Rob, we'll get back to it in the hits. I thought he said the perfect answer and way to describe L'Jarius Sneed. There is only one situation left for L'Jarius Sneed in the National Football League. It's in Kansas City. And if his body holds up, which is a major if, a major asterisk, then this move could work. If his body cannot hold up, L'Jarius Sneed will be done in the National Football League. This really feels like your last chance you, so to speak. He is going back to the one system that he had all the success in. He knows the head coach, knows the defensive coordinator, knows the defensive back coach. He's the OG veteran, championship pedigree, all of those things we love to say. If it doesn't work for L'Jarius Sneed in Kansas City and he can't physically hold up or he can't play, L'Jarius Sneed's career is over in the National Football League. If it didn't work in Kansas City, why would Denver think that it's going to work for them? If it doesn't work in Kansas City, why would the Seattle Seahawks think that it is going to work? Like, I know we think that everybody in the league, they make it until they're 32, 33 years old, and they get to leave on their own accord. No, we know football chews your body up and spits it out. He is absolutely right. Maybe it is just over for L'Jarius Sneed. Like, maybe we would just find out week 4, week 5, yeah, he ain't got it no more. Knees, agility, bend, all of those things, maybe he just doesn't have it anymore. But if there is a team that could show you that he still has it and that he can still be productive in, it's the team that he ultimately signed with. I don't know how much money he got offered. I do know there were a couple other teams that were potentially interested in him. I heard a little bit of Chargers rumbling of a team that were interested in him. But ultimately, it's sometimes about finding the right fit and showing the rest of the league that you can still play. Because you just didn't play he played 13 games for Tennessee. He played 13 games for them. They gave him $40-something million guaranteed to go play for them, and you just couldn't perform. You couldn't stay on the field. So I think that's a really, really good way of breaking it down when it comes to L'Jarius Sneed. We'll continue this conversation coming up on the other side. Plus, I want to have a conversation about ticket prices and big-time sporting events. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, the go-to show for dating advice you didn't ask for.
If you got to ask your girl to help on the bill on Valentine's Day, you've done something wrong.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan.
Well, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have poor sleep? What about low energy? How about brain fog, a reduced sex drive, weight gain, and workouts that just don't deliver like they used to? Well, the problem could be low testosterone. And the truth is, those testosterone levels can start declining as early as your 30s, 2 or 3% every single year. And before you know it, you just don't feel like the same man you did back in the day. Well, you don't have to accept this as just aging. Heartland Men's Health specializes in customized testosterone therapy and targeted body composition plans. You might think you have low T. Well, pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website and take this simple 10-question quiz. Visit heartlandmenshealth.com. Your initial visit is just $100, includes a medical consultation, a PSA test, and lab results in about 30 minutes, and your treatment can start that day. 3 locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. There's no need to wait. Go stop by and see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details. Right, soccer fans, listen up. If you'd like a proper celebration, come on, you know where to go this summer. Gordon Ramsay Steak inside Harrah's, Kansas City is the place to be. Now, we're talking beautiful marble cuts, cooked to absolute utter perfection, and flavors you can't get anywhere else. Stop settling for mediocre and let me help you. Come in, sit down, and let my team show you how to cook a proper steak. Now, 21 or older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a diamond sourcing expert, I'll tell you just how differently we source our diamonds so your engagement ring can be the most beautiful. We work directly with our diamond partners who reserve the best stones just for us. We handpick and inspect each diamond, then negotiate the best price. At Shane Company, we believe this is the only way to properly buy a diamond, because a friend goes the extra mile to make sure you get your dream diamond at your dream price. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. 'Cause Birdie told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. Always trust in Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Steak is for dads, all types of dads, grill dads, cast iron dads, charcoal dads, all united by their love of steak. So shop in store at Omaha Steaks at the Fountains in Overland Park for the perfect Father's Day gift. From perfectly aged, oh so tender USDA certified tender steaks to hand-selected gift packages, Omaha Steaks makes it easy to give your dad what he really wants, a license to grill with a Father's Day gift from Omaha Steaks at the Fountains, or go to omahasteaks.com today for fast delivery.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Whether you're a DIY enthusiast, a contractor, or business owner, Metal by the Foot has the perfect solution for you. Located in KC and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We've got a crash up at, 29 northbound as you approach 152 highway. It looks like 4, maybe 5 cars involved there. 35, that's northbound at 75th. That's a stall blocking the left lane, and it looks like some onlooker delay southbound there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
All right, I do want to have a conversation about tickets and big-time sporting events based off how expensive these Knicks tickets have gotten. Let me play this for you. We can wrap up this L'Jarius Sneed conversation. We just had Easton Freeze on, and I thought he made a tremendous point about the Chiefs' newest corner. Here's what he said.
And when he was traded, I do think there was some sense of betrayal a little bit. Not that there isn't that, I guess, when anybody gets traded and they don't expect it. But I think he got kind of put out on his butt in the cold a little bit and sent to a new, unfamiliar place. And it just never really clicked here in Tennessee. And so this is a prodigal son thing to me. This is a returning home for a guy who is desperately seeking the version of himself that got him such a massive contract in the first place, as his body, to at least some extent, is starting to fail him by no fault of his own, just, the nature of his biology. He's either going to figure it out here or he's done in the NFL. And if I can speak for Titans fans quickly, I think every Titans fan in the world is worried because they're thinking he better not go, be awesome again, because that is going to be just some unbelievable salt in the wound.
Rob, I usually would ask you what word you feel to describe L'Jarius Sneed coming back. I don't think you're very high on the move. I don't think there's a reason to be very high on the move. I do like it, though. I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm not mad at the Chiefs for revisiting this. It's a very small amount of money. I'm sure we'll find out the guaranteed amount here at some point in the next 48 hours, but it's up to $5 million. What I'm guessing is it's a low guarantee. It's a low signing bonus, and a lot of it is based on how healthy he's going to be and how much he plays, which if you pay the $5 million for L'Jarius Sneed, I'm guessing at the end you're very happy that you paid the $5 million. That meant he had a very good season. That meant he was healthy, and that meant he returned to form somewhat. So to me, the question is what we were asking yesterday is Christian Fulton going to be on the team? What's his role on the team? But if Sneed is healthy, there is no doubt in my mind that he is going to be on the roster come week 1.
I think the biggest question, and maybe this is why I come off with a little bit of skeptic of the move, the biggest question with L'Jarius Sneed for me is his body still able to do it? Because in Tennessee, he wasn't. He played in 14 games in 2 seasons and had multiple PUP list situations. And if you'll remember, after the Chiefs traded him, the ensuing training camp and preseason, the story out of Nashville was his body's not right. His body's not ready to go. There were a lot of people in town who said the reason you trade him now is because his body is a ticking time bomb. He's a great player. He's probably not as good as his contract's going to say he's going to get, but his body is slowly breaking down. And in Tennessee, you saw that breakdown. So I'm not anti the money. I'm not anti the player. I'm not even anti the boost in the position group because Christian Fulton might stink. I'm just wondering, is there anything left in his body? Because there's a good chance there's nothing left. And I agree with you. He will come here, and it's here or nowhere for him. He knows Spags, he knows Dave Merritt, he knows the system, he knows all the intricacies, and I'm sure they will scheme him up to try to make the most out of him. But if his body and his knees are as bad as they were in Nashville, it doesn't matter about the old days and how great it used to be and that video of him locking up Tyreek Hill. It's over. Your NFL career is done. So my biggest 10,000-foot question for L'Jarius Sneed is, can his body still do it? And I don't know that anyone has the answer to that because the last 2 years in the NFL, his body couldn't do it.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, does this signing make the Chiefs defense better? No, it's just the same, just with depth. This defense's secondary is in trouble. I don't know how you could come to the conclusion that right now the Chiefs secondary is in trouble. If you want to use the term unproven, that's a very fair word to use. They don't have really any proven production in that secondary other than L'Jarius Sneed, who we're just talking about the injury concerns, right? Like, they don't have anybody different. But, I mean, there's a chance their secondary is very, very good. If there is a part of the team that them going with youth, them going with inexperience, you should trust them in, that is the one spot. It's not on the D-line. They have not done a great job developing those guys. It's not at wide receiver. If you are looking at, hey, where's the part of the team that you could have a youth movement where either everybody is on their rookie contract or on a cheap one-year deal, it's in that cornerback room. So I would not say that their secondary is in trouble. I do not feel that way. I'm going into it. It's a question mark. It's some guys that you like. Let's see how they gel. Let's see how they come together. Let's see how they can play. But if Delane is what they think he's going to be, and he's the 6th overall pick. They think he's really good. They don't think he's just okay. They think he is a Witherspoon, could turn into a Surtain. They think he could be one of the top 10 corners in the league at some point. If he's good and what they usually do and how they develop guys continues to work, I don't know if we're going to look and say that their cornerback room is the weak point on their team. I don't know if we're having that conversation 4 months from now in the middle of October that you feel like they messed up when it comes to the cornerback room. They just got too much of a track record.
Let me ask you this, though. Is the Chiefs bringing back one of their own at corner a sign that maybe they're unhappy with the room? Because they haven't added a veteran wide receiver. They haven't added a veteran pass rusher. I know the text line thinks their linebacking group is lacking in depth. They haven't added a guy in that room. They didn't add a safety. I know there's some speculation that maybe Sneed's going to play safety. They haven't added a safety. They haven't added, a competition kicker. They've made one move in June, and it's June, so who cares? But they have made one move, and it's their cornerback room. Is it possible the Chiefs doing something in that room has them feeling like they're a slight bit inadequate or maybe behind the curve with the rookies going into the season?
I don't feel that way. The only part of their defense that I'm worried about is the pass rush. If you got questions about the pass rush, that's more than fair to me. If you don't think they did enough to bolster the pass rush, or they are, to me, over-reliant on guys who have never had a proven track record of getting to the quarterback, I think it's fair. But what I don't think is fair is I don't think that Chiefs fans can play both sides of this argument. I don't think the argument can be we don't want to pay Trent McDuffie. I don't think the thing is, well, we know we're not going to pay Jalen Watson. We'd rather go younger and cheaper. Now they go younger and cheaper position. They're like, oh, these guys are unproven. Well, what'd you think was going to happen? The moment you traded Trent McDuffie, we were always going to be in this place. That was your proven corner right there. But then it came time to pay him what the market said it was, and nobody seemed that excited about paying him $100 million. So there were two extremes. It was make Trent McDuffie one of the 3 highest paid corners in the league or do what they did. And I didn't hear a whole lot of people pushing back on doing what they did.
I know you don't feel that way about that cornerback room, but it's possible they feel that way about the cornerback room. Like, maybe the money's the hang up, but they have done nothing at wide receiver this offseason.
Yeah.
They've done nothing really at edge rusher since the draft. And their one veteran pre-camp, pre-mandatory minicamp move is corner. I'm just saying it's possible they don't view their cornerback room or they know something about their cornerback room that you and I don't. Because take the name off the board. If I were to say, Carrington, rank the positions and likelihood the Chiefs add before training camp, you did not have cornerback very high. And yet that's the position they've added.
I don't think that, but I guess I don't know if they're done. Them making this kind of move it just doesn't move me the way that it moves you. And that's perfectly fine. But them having another reunion is just not that surprising to me. I'm not surprised at all. That's what they usually do. Now, let's see when all the wide receivers come off the board and when they come off the board. Where does Diggs go? How much does Diggs sign for? Is Tyreek going to be available in September to play, or is he going to wait a little bit? There's some positions. Is Cam Jordan going to retire? What team does Von Miller go for? Like, there are 5 or 6 of those veterans that I'm kind of keeping an eye on, but nobody has signed those guys. I'm not going to be mad now that they didn't go get Stephon Diggs. Diggs don't play for nobody now at this point. But them making this kind of move when I just don't think the money's that big, I just don't think it's really an alarming thing. I don't think it's them really communicating that something is wrong with their team. I think this is a move they think can make their roster better. I don't disagree with them on that. I'm fine if they made that decision. I do want to talk about this because I want to hear from fans on how they feel about this. 913-586-7965. I don't know if this is like a personal thing that kind of grinds my gears a little bit, but I do dislike the conversation whenever we get to the really important games, and then the tickets get a little bit expensive, right? Whether it's the AFC Championship game, whether it's more important games, the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, all of these things, they've priced out the real fans. And then part of me just thinks, I don't know how you make this process fair for everybody once you get to this level of game. Now, I know we're talking about on a much smaller level, but just last week, Rob, Kansas baseball, that place seats 2,000 people?
2,600 maybe?
3,000 people?
Yeah.
How many people do you think are Kansas basketball season ticket holders? Let's say half, 7,000, 8,000 people?
Ballpark's probably right.
Football-wise, let's say it's another 10 to 15. I know it's some overlap.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have both, some people don't. I get that. We're not even counting all the other sports. How do you make everybody at Kansas happy when it comes to these tickets? When there's a limited amount of tickets and there is a greater supply of people that want to attend the sporting event, what way is fair for everybody? Because if I'm somebody and I'm a donor and I donate $10,000 to Kansas, yeah, me and Rob should not be fighting over these tickets. Rob donates $500, I donate $10,000. I should move to the front of the line. That seems fair to me. Maybe that doesn't seem fair to you. When I think of the NBA Finals, now this is going to sound bad because, yes, I want everybody to be able to have access to it. But in the same ways that everybody doesn't have access to the same restaurants, you can still go eat steak. You just can't eat steak here. You can't eat this cut of steak. That's not to say you can't ever have steak. Some of you eat steak all the time, but you understand there's some restaurants, either you go and it's a once in a blue moon occasion, but for some people, that's normal. Trust me, Patrick is not taking his kids to Outback. They are not going to Longhorn. His kids are only eating the finest of steaks. There are sporting events for everybody. Nobody can say you can't go to a baseball game. You can go to a baseball game. But Game 7 of the World Series in Wrigley Field, I'm sorry, the supply of how many people can actually go, as opposed to the demand of how many people want to go, I don't know how you ever find a balance in which you think it's fair and equitable for everybody to be able to have an opportunity. So unfortunately, some people just have to watch the game at home on television. It stinks, and I wish you could go. I wish every Knicks fan could be able to go. I wish every Chiefs fan could go to the Super Bowl, but that's just not real life. So when I see these ticket prices and everybody's up in arms and everybody's upset, I'm not here to make excuses for the people who have more money, but it just sounds like the system that we've signed up for. Even if we tried to really, really be strict on Ticketmaster and StubHub, trust me, if you got those tickets at a reasonable price, there is always going to be a demand because somebody is willing to pay more money than you are willing to pay to attend the sporting event. So I just don't know how you fix the problem. I don't know how you make it fair for everybody to be able an opportunity to go to these games. So usually it turns into economics 101, supply and demand, and the people with the more money are the ones that are usually going to end up going to the high marquee sporting events. I'm sorry, but you just got to go to Knicks and Raptors in January. You can't go to Game 3 of the NBA Finals. I'm sorry.
I don't per se disagree, but let me ask you this. For someone who has been harsh on FIFA for their ticket prices, isn't what you just said their logic for why they're pricing the way they are at Kansas City Stadium this week? Because
for sure. No, but really quick, though, that's why I said, hey, FIFA can charge whatever they want for tickets. I made the determination when I saw the tickets, I don't want to go that badly. Some people do want to go that badly. When I saw how much it was to see Lionel Messi play soccer, I determined this is not the soccer game for me. There's other soccer games for me. I don't want to go that bad. So I just said no. I just declined. No, thank you. I don't feel like all of these things. I understand some games are more important than other games. This game, I completely get all of that. So I guess that's what I would say. I really do wish that every Knicks fan could go. I wish that every Chiefs fan had a chance to go to the Super Bowl. I wish there's experiences for everybody. I just don't know how you make it fair. Because if Knicks ticket prices were fair for the game, I would have went to game 3 of the NBA Finals. If you were telling me they were selling $200 tickets to the game, I wouldn't have been here yesterday. I'd have been at game 3 of the NBA Finals. So I don't know how you make it fair for everybody to be able to do it. Somebody on the text line says, what about the Masters? But yeah, I would also say with the Masters, I mean, we know a lot of rich and wealthy people get to go, and it's also everybody doesn't get to go. Rob, you try for the lottery every single year. Have you ever won?
I have never won.
You've never won the lottery one time.
Also, it's a lottery. It's not just tickets.
Yeah. And once the lottery is over, people then take those $150 tickets and then sell them for thousands of dollars on the resale market. A lot of people are buying the Masters tickets with the intended purpose of turning around and selling them for a bunch of money. Because if you get tickets to the Masters, you have really, really come up. You've come up. This just feels like supply and demand to me, which, again, is unfortunate. But there are only so many tickets for the Kansas Super Regional. Every Kansas fan cannot attend the Kansas Super Regional. Somebody has to watch it at home. Somebody has to watch it on television. Text line, they don't resell Masters tickets. It's against okay, yeah, they absolutely do. I know they're not supposed to. Wink, wink. They are reselling Masters tickets. Now, they're doing a decent job of cracking down on them, but yeah, they're reselling Masters tickets. A lot of people are paying the resale on Masters tickets for sure.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but I do think if you're a fan of the Chiefs and you live in, let's say you live around the stadium, I do think it's a little bit sucks nowadays that you can go to 5, 6, 7 regular season games and you can have the time of your life and you're a hardcore, diehard Chiefs fan. You were, giving them money. You were all in for every regular season game. And the minute the big games start showing up, I'm using the Chiefs as the example, hey, the person who never went to a game, they're now just going to buy you out of the market. As a KU fan, they do a good job, and all schools do this. They give the season ticket holders first right of refusal. But there were times where I was thinking to myself, I'd go to this event. No, I've been priced out. Even though I've been going to events like this all season, it doesn't matter. You're out now. There's a part of that feels icky to me with the way sports is happening.
Yeah, but to me, though, the only people to me that should then have fair access to the tickets are the ones that are season ticket holders. If you are a Chiefs season ticket holder, you should absolutely have access to tickets for the AFC Championship game. You should be able to buy your seat at what they deem as face value. And they give you the choice, do you want to buy them or not buy them for it? Now, after you say no to that price, if you don't want to pay that price, then I would say the market is the market, and then people are allowed to then go buy up those seats. So I'm with you. If you are a Knicks season ticket holder, so you got the 41 game package, you go to every single game, it is absolutely wrong if they don't give you an opportunity to continue through the NBA playoffs and keep buying your ticket. But no, I'm sorry. If you just go to 3 or 4 Royals games on some single tickets and now think that you can get into Game 7 of the World Series, I'm sorry. You got to watch that game at home or pay the premium to go to the game. Pay the premium. Those are the only people to me that should be guaranteed those kind of tickets. For if you are a KU basketball season ticket holder, hey, they got North Carolina at home. You should be allowed the fair market value for those tickets. Everybody else, hey, I don't know what to tell you. Go on StubHub.
I will say one thing that's made this conversation unique, I think it was Danny was on the show last week and said this. Knicks don't really have a season ticket base. They have like hedge funds and brokerages own the tickets, which is also why this is a bananas market as opposed to Arrowhead, Allen, Bramlage, whatever is in town locally. But it's just conceptually to me, I feel bad for the actual fans who get priced out because Stock Market Joe decided he wants to have a status symbol of Game 3, and now a real Knicks fan is out on the street watching the game because a guy who works at JP Morgan is now going.
Someone on the text line says, how much do you think they make Spike Lee pay for his ticket? I was actually reading about this yesterday. Spike says on average, you think he pays somewhere between $300 and $350 a year for a pair of courtside seats.
He has season tickets to that spot though, so that's the same as
just $300,000 a year on tickets he pays every single year. I was actually thinking this, and the text line, you guys are normally good at this. I don't know if there is any American more associated with an individual team than Spike Lee is with the Knicks. I'm not talking about a player, right? Like, I'm not talking about Michael Jordan with the Chicago Bulls. I'm talking about, I don't know if there is a fan of a team that is more associated with that team than Spike Lee is with the Knicks. I was really trying to think of who that could potentially be. Like, I was thinking like Matthew McConaughey in Texas. You know, they've kind of like developed over the last 10 years or so. I mean, Spike's been doing this for a long time. Spike's has season tickets since they got Patrick Ewing. He's been on the floor since the 90s. Like, he is a fixture of Knicks games. I was really trying to figure out who that is, and I would just land like, the answer is Spike. There is not an American fan that is more associated with Team X than I think Spike Lee is with the Knicks. And yesterday they lost Game 3. He was there. He'll be back for Game 4. He has some custom Jordan. If you saw that, Jordan Brand sent Spike some Jordans for yesterday. They were kind of nice. There were some nice threes. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we'll reset everything. We'll get you ready for the evening in sports. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
The biggest stage in world soccer is days away, and every goal changes everything. And now, FanDuel is giving you a reason to root for every single one. Introducing Every Goal Pays. Bet on a match, and you get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. That's right. More goals mean more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now and get in on Every Goal Pays. That's FanDuel.com/local. We are days away from the action getting going, so you want to get in with FanDuel. I know you're excited with the largest sporting event in the world coming to Kansas City, and we have 6 matches over the next few weeks. And what better way to celebrate soccer, celebrate Kansas City than with our friends over at FanDuel? And remember that every goal matters. So let there be goal. And remember, FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Opt-in required. Must apply bonus token. Bonus issued. Non will drive a bonus back. Expires 7 days of street. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, DQ fans. Nothing could make Father's Day more memorable than a DQ cake. Treat Dad, a.k.a. Pops, Poppy, or Papa, to one of our delicious fudge and crunch cakes. Or get a cake in one of our other Blizzard treat flavors like Oreo cookie. Customize your DQ cake with a message that celebrates the big guy and all the wonderful things he does. Trust us, it's a lot more fun than a pair of socks or another wacky tie. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
If your engine takes longer to start in the morning than you do, don't worry. Just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com. If you miss being able to finish a road trip playlist on a road trip, we can help. Just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
If the high cost of filling up is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee. This Saturday and Sunday, get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 30 cents per gallon with your $60 purchase. 60 cents per gallon with a $120 purchase. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Sun, sand, and stress-free travel start with Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking. Keep your car cool with all covered parking and enjoy fast shuttles right to the terminal. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
This one brought to you by Park & Go. Still dealing with the problem in Overland Park. It's a stall. 35 southbound at 87th. Right lane is blocked. Blue Springs, this one, 291 highway, that's still there. Southbound on-ramp from 39th. There's a lot of onlooker delay through here. They say going to be cleared here pretty soon, so it's just brake tapping. For now, I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
We were just talking about this, about the Knicks, and I said that I don't know if there is an American who is more associated with a team as a fan than Spike Lee is with the Knicks. A lot of people are mentioning Jack Nicholson with the Lakers. I would certainly say they are the equivalent. Like the Knicks had their super fan, the Lakers had theirs. He's kind of fallen with some health issues for the last couple of years, so he doesn't go as often as he did during its heyday. But yes, he was an absolute fixture on the sideline back during the heyday of the Los Angeles Lakers. Does football have that person? Like, I think it's just a very different game than basketball because they have a section in a basketball game that's with the people, but not really with the people. It's not like Spike is sitting in 105. Like, he's sitting on the floor around other insanely rich people and other celebrities. So, yes, he is in the crowd, but not really in the crowd in a traditional sense. Not really the same at football games. Does football have that fan that you would attribute this person with that team? Maybe Bradley Cooper with the Eagles would be the example. I know Taylor Swift now with the Chiefs, but I mean, that's just her fiance, boyfriend plays on the team. It's not like she's a lifelong Chiefs fan that's always been following the team. That's a pretty recent occurrence. Is there that fan in the NFL? Can you think of, like, is there a Spike Lee, Jack Nicholson equivalent in the NFL?
Nothing is pulling to my mind immediately. And you're right. I don't really count Taylor Swift. Someone on the text line says there's a Raiders fan. The Raiders definitely don't have a fan that is. No. Is Post Malone Cowboys the closest thing?
Yeah, I mean, the level of Spike?
No. There's no one level of
the
Spike.
NFL does not have a Spike Lee or Jack Nicholson. They do not have super famous fan who is one-to-one associated with the team.
How much of that is because of how basketball is? You can be on the field.
For sure, 100%.
Where in football, you're in a box. Like, so it's just hard. Like, I'm not calling this person Spike Lee. Eric Stonestreet, I've heard him on podcast interviews say he's a season ticket for the Chiefs. I'm betting his season tickets aren't field passes. He's in the stadium in a box. It's hard for a camera to pan to that person.
No, for sure. No, 100%. That's definitely what makes it different than the two. 1,000%. That is absolutely what I think changed it. Someone said like Ashley Judd with Kentucky basketball, like that. Like a person who is just, this person is a major fan of this team, and if there's an important game, that person will be in attendance at that game.
Do you think McConaughey with Texas is that?
Yeah.
That one's weird to me because
he's like always on the sideline.
He's also a professor there.
He is?
Yeah, he's a teacher. He's an adjunct professor.
Okay, so he ain't like a real professor.
I mean, he's not.
What class do you think Matthew McConaughey teaches?
It's like intro to film or something.
Yeah, just what class do you think he...
I bet you can look it up. I legitimately think it's like intro to film.
Let's sign up for that class. That's what class we want to sign
We're just going to go hang out with McConaughey. He's also the minister of culture.
That's something I want to be, the minister of culture for a team. Can I throw this out here really quickly? 913-586-7965. I am not saying the Chiefs should do this, but if the Chiefs wanted to keep Rashee Rice, there is a contract structure that they could use. It's Christian Watson. I know it says 4 for 92. Once you look at it, it is not 4 for 92. In fact, it is 3 for 55. That's what it is. He is going to get $31 million to sign. So they are writing him a $31 million check right now. It's in his account. Boom, deposit. He then gets a bonus for every game he is active. So on top of his regular salary, he will get an extra $100,000 for every game he is active for the team. Then, just based on the dead money and all of that, they basically give him another signing bonus. If Christian Watson is on the Packers in 2028, which they can't really cut him, so I don't know why he wouldn't be on the team in 2028, he would get another guaranteed $13 million to be paid out the third day of the league year, so in early March. All in all, when you add it up, it comes out to be 3 years for $55 million, and that's basically guaranteed. Again, I'm not saying the Chiefs are going to do it. I'm not saying they should do it, but if you were trying to find what the long-term contract extension looks like for Rashee Rice, not just in Kansas City, with any team he could potentially sign for, you are not giving him the Alec Pierce deal. You are not giving him the Drake London deal. But could we see Rashee Rice have a George Pickens kind of season, have a big-time year? Chiefs don't want to put the franchise tag on him because I wouldn't franchise tag Rashee Rice next season, not at $27 million. And he goes off and he signs a deal that originally you say, wow, I can't believe he got that much money. But then when you really start to dig deep, when you really start to dive into the deal, you look at it and think that's actually not really that much money. I'm not a big Christian Watson fan. 3 for 55 for Christian Watson is not that bad of a contract.
So it's an interesting question. I would actually give Rashee Rice that deal, all things considered right now. I don't know the Rashee Rice agent's taking that at all.
You think he gets something better than this with the team?
Rashee Rice has been a more productive receiver than Christian Watson. Christian Watson's like a 500-yard guy. Now, he's on the field more often.
That counts.
But it's not like he's Cal Ripken himself, but when healthy and playing and not doing all the other nonsensical things that Rashee Rice does, Rashee Rice is a more productive player than Christian Watson.
I don't disagree with you. So I'm asking you then, what NFL player contract do you think is comparable?
Jameson Williams.
Yeah, I'm not giving him that much guaranteed money.
I agree with you,
I'd be surprised if the Chiefs signed up to give him that much guaranteed money, or any team in the league signed up to get. Jameson Williams got $66.5 million guaranteed. There's no world in which I'm doing that with Rashee Rice. No world. That's why I'm saying I don't know if the Christian Watson structure is that bad, especially if you write it in his contract. I mean, it's a legally binding deal. If you have another one of these incidents, we can void this contract and we don't have to pay out the roster bonus at the end of it. If there's some kind of wording in there, that could certainly be how you keep him. The Chiefs seem to really believe in Rashee Rice. Whether you want them to or not believe in him, they have stood by Rashee Rice at almost every single turn over the last 2 years. Now, it's different on a rookie deal versus now when it comes time to pay somebody. But you remember that story from Albert Breer. The Chiefs think when he is healthy, they think that Rashee Rice is a top 10 receiver in the National Football League. If there is a way for them to keep a top 10 receiver on their roster at what we would perceive to be a discount, they are looking into it and they are exploring it. So the Christian Watson contract, I know you and I both shot a lot of holes into it, and it looked crazy when it first came out. What the actual number ended up being is not that bad. $31 million guaranteed now, low base salary for the next couple of years, minimal cap hit for the next couple of years. You got to pay a roster bonus 3 years from now, and that's really all the guaranteed money in the deal. They will cut him by the time he's 30. They will save $17 million if they cut him when he's 30 years old. He is not making 29. They're getting rid of him then at that point. I'm just throwing out the possibility that if you were looking for a framework of what it would look like, that's probably the framework it would look like to keep Rashee Rice in Kansas City. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we will get you ready for the return of Royals baseball to Kansas City. The World Cup is also a couple of days away, and Game 3 of the NBA Finals was last night, and it was a good one. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
This one brought to you by Park and Go. Still dealing with the problem in Overland Park. It's a stall. 35 southbound at 87th. Right lane is blocked. Blue Springs. This one, 291 Highway. That's still there. Southbound on ramp from 39th. There's a lot of onlooker delay through here. They say going to be cleared here pretty soon, so it's just brake tapping. For now, I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, let me tell you guys about our friends over at Gates Barbecue. Father's Day is right around the corner. Summer is here, and what better place to celebrate than with some of the best barbecue in the world? You know, we got a lot of visitors coming into town. I know you want to show them around. You want to show them some of your favorite barbecue places. Well, I know where I'm taking people. I'm taking people to Gates Barbecue. Get yourself that small party tray. Get yourself the large party tray. Get yourself the President platter. It's also right around the corner from the stadium. So if you're leaving one of the games, if you're celebrating soccer in Kansas City, what better way to do that than with our friends over at Gates Barbecue? So you guys know I've been trying to cook a little bit more. I've been trying to eat a little bit healthier. I was actually at the grocery store a couple of days ago. I picked up some of that Gates seasoning to use on my breakfast. Oh my goodness, it's been fantastic. I highly encourage you to use it. You can use it like I do on your breakfast. If you're going to grill, you can use the seasoning as well. Get some of the sauce as well. Make sure that you incorporate Gates into whatever your summer barbecue plans are. It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here telling you go stop by any one of the Area 5 locations with our friends over at Gates Barbecue.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. The World's Game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2 up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Let's say you put your money on Leo Messi in Argentina. They go up too early in the first half. Well, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you will instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the World's Game. You like Ronaldo in Portugal. You like Harry Kane in England. Whoever it may be, don't miss your shot at an early win with 2 up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. Regardless of the final outcome of the match, make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. Please gamble responsibly.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at Hellsberg.com.
This summer, grab a Truly Hard Seltzer. Light, bubbly, fruity, and make your dreams come truly. Join us for our game day watch parties on June 12th, 19th, and 25th at Peanuts locations. Truly Hard Seltzer, the official hard seltzer of U.S. Soccer. Visit Odyssey.com/965thefan for more info on watch parties. And visit TrulyHardSeltzer.com/locations to find Truly near you. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, LLC, Boston, Massachusetts. Hard Seltzer, 5% alcohol by volume. Please drink responsibly. 21 plus only.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This report is brought to you by CM Mosen Son, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical services. CMMosenSon.com.
Dispatch, this is Mindy at CM Mosen Son. Putting off fixing electrical problems in your home can be a real hazard. Visit CMMosenSon.com to take care of your electrical problems today. CM Mosen Son, license 202058.
Join us at 96.5 The Fan's World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut in the Northland on June 12th with The Drive starting at 2 and kickoff at 8. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933. Join 96.5 The Fan at the Peanut in the Northland on Friday, June 12th as C-Dot and Rob broadcast live starting at 2 with kickoff to follow at 8 o'clock. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very excited to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. We are off a little bit early today because of the Kansas City Royals, so we will get right to it. We were talking about this earlier. We won't do a random lineup. If you missed the one earlier, go back and listen to it. It genuinely makes me sad that the Royals have kind of turned into a little bit of out of sight, out of mind. That I was thinking back to yesterday's show and, you know, our pre-show meetings and the rundown, and we didn't mention the Royals one time in Monday's show. Not a single person on the text line mentioned it. There was no, hey, talk Royals. There was no, hey, what do you think about X, Y, and Z? I don't think you guys are that interested in Royals content right now. Maybe I am completely off in this, but this season has been such a disaster, and the World Cup starts in 2 days. I don't really get a big sense that you guys are very much invested in what the Royals have going on this summer. I mean, one of the storylines is, can Bobby Witt Jr. win MVP? He is currently the betting favorite to do it. I think it's going to be very difficult for him to do it. He's going to have to put away some just runaway numbers in order to do it. But can he be voted in as an all-star starter? I think he should be. And can he finish in the top 5, which is obviously an accomplishment. But if he's not going to be A-Rod on the Rangers, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for you to be the best player on right now. They're the second worst team in the American League. They have the second worst run differential. They are 9 games out of the division. They're 5.5 games out of the wild card. I mean, they're almost out of it by American League standards, which is really, really tough to do. Almost everybody feels like they're in it. If the Royals were just average this season, they'd be in it. If they were the A's, not the Sacramento A's, not the Vegas, if they could just be the A's, they'd be in it. Hell, if they were Minnesota, they would potentially be in it. But no, they are the Royals. They are not in it in really any capacity in my mind. And I will play one thing for you. Here's JJ Piccolo. He was on the midday show earlier today, and he was talking about how they're going to handle the trade calls that they are going to receive here in the next couple of weeks.
Well, it's, we've got to look at the date right now. What are we, June 9th, June 10th? We still have a long way to go before we'd make any decision like that. And I think everything right now is very speculative. We haven't made any calls about players available, received calls asking about players. I think it's just because so many teams are like us. You know, you have a team that you believe in that isn't playing right now or playing well right now or excelling. And so many teams are like that I think it's just going to be a really, really late decision on what a team should do. And I don't think we're any different than a bunch of teams in the American League.
The one thing I do not want the Royals to do over the next 7 weeks is to lie to themselves about 2026 and lie to themselves about the future. You are not in it. You are not making the playoffs this season. The best thing for the Royals is for their starting pitchers and their arms to get healthy, and then they can make a determination on who they want to keep, who they don't want to keep, and try to maximize the resources that they do have and try to turn this thing around in 2027. But when he says we're like a lot of other teams, you shouldn't view it that way. You're 4 games back of the A's, who are 31-35. You have the second worst run differential in the American League. The only team that is worse than you is the Los Angeles Angels. Only 2 teams in baseball have fewer wins than you, period. You're one of the bottom 5 teams in baseball. Do not try to sell it to me like you were in it. Please do not try to sell it to me of you just need a little bit more time. Now, I don't expect the Royals to be sellers today. I don't think they're trading Vinny Pasquantino on June 9th. But in a month from now, so basically when the World Cup is wrapping up here in Kansas City on July 11th, and all of our attention is back to baseball, we need to start having some real conversation about who they're keeping and who they are not keeping. And I do not want the Royals to lie to themselves and think that they are in it, because they are not in it. They would need to do something incredible over the next 3 weeks for me to change my mind on that opinion. Like, they need to win 11 of their next 13 in order for me to have a different opinion on where they are and being realistic about how can they really get themselves back into it. They've scored fewer runs than every team in the American League. No, they're not in it. I'm not here to let them lie to us. I don't want them to be unrealistic about where they sit.
Which, I mean, that's what sucks. Everything you're saying is correct. I know the Texans are like, well, they're 5 games back to wild card. They're the second worst team in the AL. They're done. I want them to be wrong. I want to play on 4th of July weekend, me and you saying this, and it's like, look at these idiots, because they went, 21-5 in June, and they just did something truly special. But you're 12 games under. You're worse than the Twins. You're worse than the Mets are having an all-time collapse. It is a nightmare season for the Mets. You have the same record as the Mets. Like, it's just, this summer was supposed to be different, and it feels all too familiar. So I don't blame fans for being disappointed, but it is a harsh reality. This season is trending toward over, and we're not even at Juneteenth.
More so than, and we can move on from this, more so than saying they're just 5.5 games back. They are in 12th place in the wild card standings. That's where they're in 12th place. They're not winning the division. They're 9 games out of the division. If you were just looking at the wild card, they are in 12th place in the wild card. In order for them to win the wild card, they would have to be better than 8 other teams. They have not shown me an ability to be able to do that. So, yes, if you just want to look at the just raw numbers, they're only 5.5 games back. Yeah. So there are 12 teams that are within 6 games of the wild card. They're in last place in that group. No, they're not in it. No. This is what I mean about being honest with yourself and being realistic with yourself. The best thing for the Royals is to get the arms healthy, and they can make a determination on if they're trading Seth Lugo, if they are trading Chris Bubich, and take those resources and turn them into something that can help you in 2027 and 2028 when you do realistically have a chance to do something, because they do not realistically have a chance to do something right now. All right, Rob, let's get to hit number 1. We'll talk about Chiefs OTAs.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
All right, so this was from last week. I want to go back here very quickly. I had Nate Taylor on the show back when the Chiefs had their optional portion. They are now at the mandatory portion. Now, they only got 3 more work days. Well, I guess they have 1, so they have 2 more work days. They work on Tuesday, or they work on Wednesday, and they work on Thursday, and then they are done for the summer until they get to St. Joe. Now, you will hear me say this. No Chiefs news is good Chiefs news with this team in the summer. If we are talking about your team in late June, early July, that means you either have a contract issue that's going on or somebody got in trouble off the field. The Rams had somebody, Alaric Jackson, he got in trouble. The Jonathan Cooper story, the guy that was eating cell phones. We've had enough of those offseason stories with the Chiefs. I don't want any of those offseason. I want a quiet offseason from Kansas City. The only news I want is wedding pictures from Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I don't want any other news. I want updates on Patrick Mahomes' knee. I want wedding photos, and that's it. Now, Rashee Rice gets out of jail next week, which is a crazy sentence to say, but he gets out of jail next week. I don't want to hear a single Rashee Rice story. If I'm Rashee Rice's agent, I'm taking your cell phone. We're deleting Twitter. We're deleting Instagram. We're deleting TikTok, WhatsApp. We're deleting any of those things that you can communicate with the public. You know what your focus needs to be? You need to be focused on staying out of trouble, keeping your head down, doing the work. Let's go get paid. The same way you got to have real conversations with the Royals, somebody needs to have that conversation with Rashee Rice. Somebody that loves him and cares about him. Hey, let's go on your Bank of America account. We need to start looking at this. Look at how much you paid for this. Look at how much you paid for this. You got to assume Rashee Rice is getting close to running out of some of that money. How much it costs to live, the life of being an NFL player, your girlfriend, legal fees, taking care of your people. I'm not saying he broke, but I'm guessing he is not rolling in it the way that you would think that he is. Let's go get you paid. Let's go take care of you. Let's take care of your family. Let's take care of your moms, grandma. Let's really do this. But what I need from you is for you to lock in and let's stay out of trouble. I'm not letting Rashee Rice tweet. I'm not letting him be on Instagram. I don't want to hear another story about Rashee Rice this summer. I don't want to hear a story about Rashee Rice once we get to the season. All I want to hear is catches, yards, touchdowns. You being a good teammate. That's all Rashee Rice needs to focus in on. I don't think we should be having too many more of these conversations. He is missing these 3 mandatory days, so he's going to miss technically 2 more days of practice. He gets out on the 17th, so he gets out next week, and then it should be radio silence from Rashee Rice. I don't want you to go on Instagram and make some video thanking people who wrote you or came to visit you. I don't want none of that. Just be quiet. Sit down somewhere. I don't want to hear from Rashee Rice again until he has to do that one press conference we all know is coming. They're going to play it on Cody and Gold. They're going to take it live from the podium. Every media person will be there. You'll ask all of your Rashee Rice questions. The Chiefs will weirdly cut it off in the first 8 minutes, and then that's it. We'll never speak on it again. That's the only time I want to hear from Rashee Rice between now and the football season. I don't want to hear from any other circumstance, Rob.
I agree 1,000%. I don't know I have anything to add other than please stay out of TMZ. I want him to stay out of everything. I agree, but I don't want him on TMZ, Media Takeout, The Shade Room, Pop Crave. I don't want to see him on anything. I wouldn't mind an ESPN story from Nate where it's like, I don't want nothing. Prime for the biggest year of his career. That's fine. No, that's different. That's you writing about Rashee Rice. That's fair. I don't want to see one of your God Plans videos where you was handing out pizza and water to homeless people. Oh, I forgot about that. That was so bad. He did. Remember? That was so bad. He did a community service mixtape. None of it. I don't want any of it. You just know he's going to tweet something about the minute he gets out of jail. It's going to be the worst. Okay, well, hopefully not. Hit the button.
Number 2.
Earlier today, we had Easton Freeze on the show. Easton Freeze covers the Tennessee Titans. Here's what he had to say about Snead coming back to the Chiefs.
And when he was traded, I do think there was some sense of betrayal a little bit. Not that there isn't that, I guess, when anybody gets traded and they don't expect it, but I think he got kind of put out on his butt in the cold a little bit and sent to a new, unfamiliar place, and it just never really clicked here in Tennessee. And so this is a prodigal son thing to me. This is a returning home for a guy who is desperately seeking the version of himself that got him such a massive contract in the first place, as his body, to at least some extent, is starting to fail him by no fault of his own, just, the nature of his biology. He's either going to figure it out here or he's done in the NFL. And if I can speak for Titans fans quickly, I think every Titans fan in the world is worried because they're thinking he better not go, be awesome again, because that is going to be just some unbelievable salt in the wound.
I thought Easton really summed it up perfectly. This feels like Snead's last chance in the NFL. I don't know if Snead gets to live a long, old, productive football life. There's a lot of people that do. Given his injury history, given what we know about his knees, I don't know if L'Jarius Snead's got 7-8 years left in the league. He could have one. If this season goes left and or he can't stay healthy, I don't know if another team gives him another opportunity. This feels like the perfect opportunity in the perfect situation for a free agent. You know the head coach, you know the general manager. These are the people that drafted you, watched you grow up, stood by you through some tough times. This is the same defensive coordinator, the same D-backs coach. There's enough guys that you remember from your time that you're here. This is the perfect situation, a scenario for you to come in. You know the playbook, you know the system, you know the scheme. You will instantly be a veteran and well-respected in that locker room and well-respected in that cornerback room, and to hit the ground running. And if we are talking about how this thing didn't work in week 6 or week 7, and it's not going to be because of fit, but it's going to be because his body holds up, L'Jarius Snead's time in the NFL is likely over. So for the money that the Chiefs are paying, I don't dislike the move really at all. I see far more positives than negatives when it comes to this story. The negatives are just the health, but I'm assuming the Chiefs have really protected themselves. Now, we haven't seen all of the contract details, but I'm guessing it's going to be a low signing bonus. I'm also guessing it's going to be a per game active bonus. So he will get money every time that he is on the 53-man roster and available to play and not on the inactives. Like, that's where I think the up to is going to do a lot of work there. Where, hey, if you're healthy and you play in 17 games, we don't have any problems paying you. I think he can do a lot of things. I think he can play safety. I think he can play corner. I think he can come off the edge and blitz a little bit for him in that kind of nickel cornerback slot. I think Snead can do a lot of things if he is healthy, but it's the $100 million question of, is he going to be healthy? I don't have the answer to that this year. Time will tell.
I don't dislike the contract. Again, we don't know the details, but it's impossible to believe it's expensive. Like, I'd be stunned if we're tomorrow talking on the show about how they gave him a base of 4. Like, I'd be
very, very surprised.
It would be stunning. I think it is low risk, high reward, but I think there is a non-zero chance. I don't want to say 50-50, but somewhere between 0 and 50% chance the L'Jarius Snead is just done in the NFL.
Absolutely.
And I think the Chiefs are taking the risk that there's something there and they can get that something out of him. But I'm not meaning to run the player down, but his time in Tennessee was as abysmal of a time as I've seen with a corner. He wasn't productive. He wasn't healthy. He was consistently on PUP, and they gave him a very lucrative 4-year deal. And halfway home, they said, go anywhere else. We're going through a regime change. We don't have a defensive-minded head coach, and we don't want you to be part of our plan. So one reason I think I'm just more down on the signing than you is I think there is as much chance that he can be good as that he is just done in the NFL because his body has absolutely broken.
Rob, let's get to hit number 3. We'll talk about game 3 last night.
Number 3.
You know what? I want to give a lot of credit to the San Antonio Spurs. They came out absolutely on fire. They needed to strike first. That crowd was on 13. All of the pageantry. You're down 0-2. You feel like you should have won at least one of those 2 games back in San Antonio. there was a lot of reason to feel down if you were the Spurs. You came out and you took it to the Knicks in the first 12 minutes. And then the Knicks, they played one of their better quarters in the NBA playoffs. They scored 42 points in the second quarter. They had everything going. Cat's knocking down shots. Brunson's hitting threes. He's doing the little hand signal. Mariska Hargitay is right there going crazy. Spike is going crazy. During halftime, Charles says, Spurs about to get swept. Chuck was saying what all of us were thinking. Man, it was a good run for San Antonio, man. You guys did a really good job. Had a great season, made it to the NBA Finals, but just too much inexperience. You run up against a very special Knicks team, it's over. For them to respond the way that they did at the beginning of the third quarter, for them to hold off the Knicks and win that game was a really, really impressive stretch. I thought Wemby played phenomenal down the stretch. De'Aaron Fox, who has not hit a three, it feels like in 2 weeks, hit a couple of really big shots. Their young guys all came together, and they figured out a way to win this series, or win that game, and now make it a series. So now we're heading to Game 4. Spurs certainly have a chance in Game 4 to win this game. The Spurs should feel like we've been right there in all of these games. They had a 14-point lead in the third quarter of Game 1. Wemby had the ball with 7 seconds to go with the chance to win it in Game 2, and they won Game 3. They are very much in this series. Now, I think the Knicks are going to win Game 4. I think they're going to win this series in 5 and win it when it gets back to San Antonio. But I give the Spurs a lot of credit because it looked like they were about to get swept by the New York Knicks, and they did a good job getting themselves off the mat and making this a legitimate series.
I am selfishly cheering for the Spurs to even the series because the basketball itself has been great. And I think this is grabbing a casual fan more than any NBA Finals since LeBron and Steph Part 2. Because that was 2016, LeBron had lost his supporting cast. Could he beat the Warriors now? That really grabbed America and had people interested. I think this is the first series in the NBA Finals that has people at that level of and excited again about the NBA. So I think if the Knicks win Game 3, we're kind of done and that excitement fizzles. But I want the Spurs to win Game 4 for that reason. And I think you can make a pretty compelling case. The Spurs have been the better team in every game of this series, and yet they're down 2-1. So I know you're crediting the Spurs. They do deserve credit. They got punched in the face and bounced back. But I can make a pretty easy argument that, hey, they should be up 3-0 today, not down 2-1.
So we'll see what happens in Game 4. The ratings have not come out. I'm imagining that it's going to do a phenomenal number. I just saw it was just based on the New York City market. For Game 2, it is the highest percent of televisions that have ever been on a Knicks game. Think about that. For Game 2 was the highest percentage they've ever had on record of people watching the Knicks. So the interest right now for that basketball team is at an absolute all-time high. I'm sure we'll get the numbers for Game 3 coming up in a little bit. This has been a phenomenal series so far. I know it's 2-1 in one side. This has been 3 very competitive games, 2 very evenly matched teams, 2 very different superstars in Victor Wembanyama and Jalen Brunson. It's been a lot of fun watching this series. We are off early today because of the Kansas City Royals. We'll be back tomorrow to get you ready for Game 4. Game 4 is tomorrow, and we will be closer and closer. The World Cup starts on the 11th. So we are just a couple of days away from the start of the World Soccer Championship. My name is Carrington Harrison. Happy to be here. Rob, happy to be here as well. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.